by myself. There's no one I can turn to. And I know all the feelings that we shared are in the past. And I know your relationships are never meant to last. It might take some time, but I'll be alright. I'm moving on. I'm moving on. I know times are tough, but I've had enough. I'm moving on. I'm moving on.
Control of it. Oh, seeing the stars reminds me of you. Oh, oh, oh. You left me with scars, but I know that one day you'll see it through. You'll see it through. You'll see it through. Hey. You'll see it through. See it through. We're gonna live forever, forever. The afterlife. We're gonna live forever, forever. The talking to myself and I can't focus. Yeah, I'm broken. The door is closing. Wanna be a part of something more than this. I've lost control of it. Oh, seeing the stars reminds me of you. Oh, oh, oh. You left me with scars, but I know that one day you'll see it through. You'll see it through. You'll see it through. Hey. You'll see it through. You'll see it through. We're gonna live forever, forever. The afterlife. We're gonna live forever, forever. The afterlife.
A pair of jeans, a shirt or two. We didn't pack as if we weren't going back. doesn't matter if it's true. I've got a feeling love will give us what we lack. The world is waiting up. The world is waiting half a step beyond our door. Yeah. And if it's not enough, I wanna see the stuff the world has got in store. I wanna take it all in, I'm falling. The cityscape by night, wanna catch in my photos. Where you go, every corner twice as bright. They'll be my treasures forever. When I can't hold you tight, I'll see the Stockholm lights. The Stockholm lights, the Stockholm lights. Tomorrow feels a year away, like the seconds, the beginning and the end. But if in time it's yesterday, your picture's gonna bring it home to me again. The world is waiting up. The world is waiting half a step beyond our door. And if it's not enough, I wanna see the stuff the world has got in store. I wanna take it all in, I'm falling. The cityscape by night, wanna catch in my photos. Where you go, every corner twice as bright. They'll be my treasures forever. When I can't hold you tight, I'll see the Stockholm lights. The Stockholm lights, the Stockholm lights.
day. Eyes on my display. You say we need a change, and I feel that you mean it. You mean it. But you're so right, we're losing track of time. Buying things online, and it's not like we need them. We don't need them. So can we just slow down? The only thing I'll do is lay here next to you. We need to slow down. Embrace the love we found. For you and I are safe and sound. And we just slow for you and I are safe and sound. We were on the run, rocking around the clock. Now all we need is right here in front of us. In front of us. So can we just slow
Hands. We've already got Swain and Lilia gone, Seraphine and Zach. Next up, gonna be the Echo here, and Synt. You know, I don't usually get to cast Divinity as much, so Sharp, you wanna tell us a little bit about these teams and where they are in the standings?
I don't think I've casted either of these teams either. So I just got back from work literally right as we were about to jump into this, so I did not have a chance to refresh myself on what the standings are. So I'm gonna have to see if I can pull that up here. Or do you have it up already?
I am trying to pull up the standings as we speak, but while we're doing that, looking at the picks here, we do have an Ari and a Rek'Sai. I'm assuming that is going to be topside Rek'Sai for those who have not gotten a chance to watch. This has been an absolutely a powerful pick in the top lane right now. Top lane Rek'Sai has been starting to take over the meta a bit. The healing from the change to the passive has been insane. So I'll be excited to see how that plays out, as both AD carries are locked in right here. I actually don't have the standings for this. I only have Conqueror's standings.
Oh, let me see if I can pull it up then. We want Divinity League standings. I will pull it up here.
Ooh, and they got Yumi and the Nautilus. Zeri Yumi, I don't like seeing it. I know it's always been like the best combo between the two, but it just brings back terrible meta watching of the pro scene last year.
Okay, I've got the standings.
Yeah.
Sinner, Syndicate, Redacted are 7-1, and in their games they are 14-4. So they've only lost 4 of the 18 games they've played. Syntinels, Synt, are 6-2, and their overall game record is 12-7. So they are just one series behind Syndicate Redacted, which is Sinner. So if Synt win this, they can even up the overall record up against Sinner here. So that should be very exciting to watch. This is big stakes here. Sinner is in first place, Syntinels in fourth.
Yeah, this is the battle of the sins right now, which is
yeah.
the real sin, which is the knockoff brand. As we are into the second half of the pick and ban here. Big tank bans across the board, and then an Aurelion there in the mid lane for both these teams. Neither of them wants to deal with the beef. They have a rough time dealing with their comps. Xin Zhao coming through. So it's going to be a top side counter pick for Sint. I guess they do not believe this is going to be jungle Rek'Sai. I mean, they believe this is going to be jungle Rek'Sai and not top Rek'Sai. So they're going to save that counter pick for the top side. See if maybe something comes through. Tristana here, guessing that's going to be mid lane. Big, strong pick right now. Also good later on in the game, having more of that ability to push down turrets so quickly. Sinner's going to finish it up with the Talia. So that is going to be Rek'Sai top. It's going to be Talia jungle.
Talia jungle is kind of an odd one. We see it as like a niche flex pick where you pick the Talia for mid lane and flex it to jungle. So it's kind of weird that they just want to go ahead and just like pick this straight up as a jungler without having the flex option. I guess you are kind of doing the flip of that though by flexing the Rek'Sai. But so I guess it makes sense. I am a Rek'Sai and lane connoisseur. I've been playing it for about 4 years. And so watching Rek'Sai top is kind of exciting, but it's also sad because I liked playing lethality Rek'Sai, and now you just build tank items and do nothing but sustain all game. But counter pick for the Rek'Sai is going to be an Urgot. Urgot is very strong. You usually want to rush one of two items. You rush the Black Cleaver or you rush the Hull Breaker, and you just trust that the amount of damage you'll do with the shred and the bonus damage you get from the push from the minions, if it's the Hull Breaker or just that shred you get from the Black Cleaver, will just, once you get that one item spike, if you're at least even in the game, you will be monstrously ahead at that point.
Yeah. So looking at the comps overall, everything's fleshed out. We have that right here up on the screen. Who do you give the advantage to going into this first game?
Ooh, difficult to say. I think I lean in favor. I lean less in favor of one team. I lean against anyone who plays Yuumi. So I'm going to give it to the Jinx comp. I think Jinx will win it.
I do too. I am also a Yuumi hater. As a support main, I can't tell you how much I despise that champion. We are on to the Rift. We'll have to see who can take it here. Game number 1, Sinner versus Sint. The Battle of the Sins. Ooh, a Dragon Ball Durag. That makes me sad. Akira Toriyama. Rest in peace.
I'm just getting everything set up here on my end of things, just so I have all the spectator controls working. That's the wrong one. That's what I want to do. Okay, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome. So it's just going to be a pretty passive start. Sinner kind of setting up for a very defensive, expecting the invade with the Nautilus. That is pretty good thing to expect, especially when they only have Yuumi. So preparing for that, but nothing's happening. It's just a 5-point start for the side of Sint, and everyone's just kind of reset. And there's color synergy in the bot lane. I like that. Got the bee and then the gold kind of mythic. Is that a mythic skin?
I think it's just a chroma.
Okay. Well, they match very well. Good color combo.
They do.
On the other side, they've also got the color combo.
Yeah, they do. They've got kind of the reds going on up there with the bot lane. Yeah, so they're on point with this. They're making sure that their colors line up so that, I don't know if it gives you an edge, but maybe it does.
It gives you the teamwork edge, is what it gives you. The synergy of matching colors.
Would you call it the synergy and then the synergy?
Yes,
Something
I
like
would. Good puns. Okay. I'm glad someone else enjoys puns as much as I do. And both teams, I feel like the priority for these teams is going to be a little bit different. I feel like for the side of Sint, you want to get the Urgot ahead. Jinx will just scale on her own, but if you get Urgot ahead, it becomes such a nightmare. But for Sinner, I feel like you really want to push this Tristana up, because if she gets ahead and she can just start kind of roaming or keep Ahri locked in lane, it just opens up so much more for the team as Dragon Ball does go forward here. Blesses the hook and is going to take a lot of poke coming back. They might actually just run him down for the kill. I think they're going to try for it. They're going for the flash forward.
There we go.
Blood for Kiora. Ooh,
that's just a bit unlucky there for Dragon Ball Durag. Yeah. Dragon Ball Durag has to throws that hook out and it just straight up hits the terrain. There's nothing you can do at that point. You miss the hook onto the enemy. You hit the wall, and Nautilus says, "You know what? I'm sending it anyways, goes in because that's how the game is designed to do, and then you're kind of sunk at that point. Zeri pops the ghost, extra little bit of movement speed, I think that comes out of the Yuumi, and it's just kind of first blood handed over for free to the Zeri. And now bot lane is going to be in a bit of a precarious situation because Zeri can really snowball a game out of control if you give her a bit of a lead, whereas Jinx kind of wants to sit back and scale a bit to that like 2-3 items power spike. So it's going to be more difficult, especially as the poke comes out from this Yuumi, as the Zeri gets just clear the waves out a lot more quickly than Jinx will at this point, I believe. And so, yeah, good luck bot side. You messed yourself up. Let's see if you can dig yourself out of that hole.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult hole to dig out of, though. It's going to require just a little bit of patience here. The down in CS could make that a little bit more difficult. As Chai and Vino going for it on the top side. Here comes Nightmare. Yeah, the jungler coming through, but Rek'Sai's got the tunnels. It's hard to gank a Rek'Sai. Getting Urgot ahead is the key, but it's hard to do when you've got someone who can just dig away.
This is true. They're still going for it, though. Nope, that's going to be about it. Rek'Sai is too tanky.
Yeah, too much beef on this Rek'Sai. And that, I will say, though, Durag almost got that scuttle, as we do have a moment of freeze. Everyone's just stopping to take a breath and see the glory that is Divinity.
Oh, went for a little flash there.
Yeah,
flash trade. So Nightmare and Darrison are going to trade flashes. Darrison probably could have gotten the W reset, but accidentally autoed the plant during that combo. And so had to just jump away earlier. What you can do when you're playing Tristana, if you line it up just right, you can cancel like the auto attack animation and jump while the auto attack is in the air, and then jump away. And then as the last auto attack lands and pops that bomb, you can reset it and jump again. It takes a bit of skill to do, but it is possible. And so kind of mess it up there a little bit. And so has to just jump away early, which means Nightmare can go in for the trade, and they trade flashes. Which is going to be problematic because you're up against an Ahri. And if Ahri lands that charm and you can't flash it now, and Xin Zhao's around the corner, you could be in a lot of trouble, as Xin Zhao's looking bot side now.
Yeah, and for those of you watching the broadcast, we are having a little bit of technical issues. There is a spectator issue going on currently, so we're just going to pan over the map, and you can see where everyone is at exactly 4 minutes. Like, that's almost like, wow, just right on the key.
It's been out for a minute. I didn't even notice. I've been watching you spectate.
Yes. But that's good to know. So, Sharpie, it's up to you to let us know what's going on.
I do have some experience in radio broadcast, so I can kick it off from here if you want.
Do you have experience in that? I actually think that's really cool. I've
done radio broadcast. I'm a certified amateur radio operator. My call sign is KD0SJG, and I got it when I was in British Columbia, so I would have to say portable VE7 to let people know I'm not in my home region. And I've talked to McMurdo, which is the South Pole. I've talked to the International Space Station, and I've talked to some another interesting one. I talked to some. I guess they would say they're missionaries, but they're in like deep in the mountains of Papua New Guinea.
Oh,
and
wow.
they would just tell all these really interesting stories about life living out there in tribal Papua New Guinea, and that they've met people who are cannibals and stuff like that. Just interesting stories. So it's fun to talk with them as well. But yeah, I also helped with a radio audio drama program that I was a part of for a couple years in college. So it was good times.
That's really awesome.
So we are going to cut to an intermission. Story time with Sharpie is over. We're going to wait for the raffle files, and we will get back to you when we have those ready to go. So sorry for the technical difficulties, but it is what it is. Riot is a company indeed. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back when we have the files.
Time is of the essence, the blood running through our core. It's best to not feel sorry when it's over. I will be the greatest that you ever seen before, and I'll say eternal.
Every time we say goodbye, they all see that it's a lie. 'Cause we always give it one last try. Yeah, you've watched me break 1,000 times. Now I'm all alone, 'cause you never show. You say you will, but then you don't. That's how it goes. Don't wanna know. I'm turning off my mind so I get by. I just wanna be happy, happy tonight. Giving a warning, I'ma leave without giving a. But every time we say goodbye, we all know that it's a lie. Now I'm all alone, 'cause you never show. You say you will, but then you don't. That's how it goes. Don't wanna know. I'm turning off my mind so I get by. I just wanna be happy, happy tonight. Happier tonight. Can't be waiting for you in the morning. I'ma leave without giving a warning. I'ma leave without giving a. But every time we say goodbye, we all know that it's a lie. I just wanna be happy.
Voices going through my head. These voices telling me what I said about you, about us and what we do. I will get your heart somewhere. Voices going through my head. These voices telling me what I said about you, about us, we do.
I'm shit too.
Everything that brought me alive, going wrong like nonsense, playing with the monsters. They brought me alive, but got no alibi. It's a lover's fight without an alibi. Took my innocence without an alibi. Smoking gun, you got me on the wrong beat. All that will come, we're out up till dawn. But how can I hide it without an alibi? was wrong to say I wouldn't change a thing, 'cause in the story of our lives, the best of times through color glass, time rolls on enough to let me move on past, but every little now and then it creeps on back to shade my smile. I was wrong to say I wouldn't change a thing, 'cause in the story of our lives, the best of times through color glass, time rolls on enough to let me move on past, but every little now and then it creeps on back to shade my smile.
Some days there's no one else who loves me like you used to. Some days I'm not myself, there's no one I can turn to. And I know all the feelings that we shared are in the past. And I know your relationships are never meant to last. It might take some time, but I'll be alright. I'm moving on, moving on. I know times are tough, but I've had enough. I'm moving on, I'm moving on. Moving on, moving on. I know times are tough, but I've had enough. I'm moving on, moving on. Some days there's no one else who loves me like you used to. Some days I'm not myself, there's no one I can turn to. And I know all the feelings that we shared are in the past. And I know your relationships are never meant to last. It might take some time, but I'll be alright. I'm moving on. I'm moving on. I know times are tough, but I've had enough. I'm moving on. I'm moving on. I know times are tough, but I've had enough. I'm moving on. I'm moving on. I'm moving on.
Talking to myself and I can't focus. Yeah, I'm broken. The door is closing. Wanna be a part of something more than this. I've lost control of it. Oh, seeing the stars reminds me of you. Oh, oh, oh. You left me with scars, but I know that one day.
And we're back. A dinosaur story where we're back into this game. Sinner versus Synt. Game number 1. Sorry for the delay, folks. We are now using the Raffle file. And this is what Sharpie was talking about. Garrison.
It's the trade for flashes that I prophesied.
Sharpie, the most prophetic caster in all of Tidney's.
I'll take it. I'll take that. But we are back. Yes, we indeed are back to continue this game that already happened. So at this point, is this prophecy? Because this has already happened. So now it's the opposite of prophecy.
Yeah. What's that character in what show it is? There's a show where there's a character and it's Captain Foresight or whatever it is. It's like, maybe you shouldn't have done that thing after something bad happens, and you're like,
right.
No. But the team's doing well. For those didn't catch it earlier, we're doing a little refresher. Sinner did get a kill earlier on in the game. Kiora with a really good fight onto Dragon Ball Durag, but coming around for round 2, Nightmare unable to hit the spear, so not going to be able to have much follow-up there.
Nope, just showing up to say hello because that Zeri is pretty far ahead, got that first blood, but topside, they do have the prio still because it's a Rek'Sai. Urgot does back to get some items, so Rek'Sai gets to shove the wave and they get to pick up these little void grubs there in the Herald/Baron/Grub pit.
Yeah,
so,
Yeah, I think that's a good trade. Yes, I was gonna say that was a good trade because they're gonna give up dragon. It's just a single cloud drag, not the most useful of single dragons, especially when it's not gonna be stacking. His domination takes a lot of damage right there. Half health already, a little bit more now, down to about a third. Gotta be careful here. We do see some members though coming down, maybe for the dragon, but it is taken already. Synt gonna get something on the board right now and get that little bit of slow resist and movement speed bonus. As there is a fight for the Raptors, Nightmare gets jumped on by Darrison, trying to get out of here, but it's taking a lot of damage. Tristana goes forward right on over. Hasn't finished him off yet. Will he be able to? He is gonna get the kill and is gonna jump into the Dragon Pit to get out there. Oft going over, looking for the kill, is gonna pick that up as well, but Kiora is on the way over. Little Juice now trying to deal a 2v1. Durag looking for the hunt, looking for the damage. Is it going to be enough? They are going to pick up that kill onto Little Juice, but on the side there, the Zeri is going to pick up Jinx. And it's a 2-for-2 trade overall. But I think that, honestly, that's not a bad trade to still try to take.
No, it's not bad. You get 2 kills onto the Ahri, which is going to be really good for your mid game, especially because you have that one dragon. Having mid control gives you a bunch of prio towards rotating towards those dragons. Now, flip side, Zeri also got another kill, has a 200 bounty on her head. Jinx is pretty far behind the Zeri at this point. Tristana did get a kill, so at least you've got that going for you, which is nice. But yeah, it's difficult to say who's really going to come out on top of that one. It really, I think it ultimately is going to come out to how do they use this extra gold on the Ahri to get prio for those dragons, and the flip side, Zeri, can she use that bot pressure to get prio onto dragons? Hard to tell.
Yeah, now Chai taking a little bit of poke right there, juice coming up, but not enough time with that damage. And I do agree. I think Ari's got to really use those kills to her advantage. She's got to get the priority in the lane, be able to rotate, help Chai, help Domination get ahead. Nightmare is not able to do it all on his own right now, especially now Zeri in this lead and how hard it is to gank these side lanes. It's proving like they're gonna need this Ahri. This Darrison doing a little bit of a trade right there, but. Yeah, that is still like, again, even though she has the lead, there is still a kill on Tristana, and Tristana scales very, very well into the late game, especially with that range coming up from the passive. So we'll have to see which one of them can roam out first again. And overall, though, about 700 gold lead for the side of Sinner, 8.5 minutes in. Next dragon will be up in 2.5 minutes. It is an Infernal Dragon, so no soul of that. This game is now Nightmare getting flanked on. 3 members of Sinner are here, forced to use the ult to try to run away. Not taking any damage yet, but it has dropped. Vino looking shy is coming down to try to help.
They're here.
Is coming too. They are here. Nightmare flashes over the wall. Little Juice trying to get away, but gets annihilated right there by OTF. Meanwhile, Nightmare going down. Darrison trying to get away, but gets pulled by Chai. The flash to try to catch Vino. But Vino's just gonna tunnel on out of there. And 1-for-2 trade in favor of Sinner just not able to run down Nightmare fast enough.
Yeah, it was a nice kind of turnaround there topside. They have the timer. The Xin Zhao stays alive long enough to allow the Urgot and the Ahri to get there to match the rotation topside, and they clean up a really nice fight. So great job by the Xin Zhao to use that ultimate to just delay and stall for long enough. Ahri shows up, gets the damage down. Urgot goes up, gets the ultimate as we see a fight bot side.
Yeah, hook onto the Yuumi. Yuumi trying to get back onto the Zeri, but is not going to be able to. Durag's going to pick up the kill. Kiora trying to trade back a little bit. Not who you want the kill to go on, but hey, Yumi's dead. That's the important thing. We all celebrate a little bit of that.
We do.
We take those dead cats. I love cats. I don't love Yuumi.
In the world of all things feline, hating on Yuumi is completely okay and justifiable, and even encouraged. I do here. So,
yeah.
A good Yuumi is a dead Yuumi. I'll just leave it at that.
Indeed. Nightmare cleared up some vision right there. Sinner coming back up for these grubs. Nightmare is around though, so they're gonna have to be careful. The wards are there. I think Nightmare wants to try to challenge them. The Ahri is coming up, but Yuumi is as well. Vino's already getting down here, has the priority. Nightmare going in, gets the ult to get out, but is so low on health. The Jinx Rocket coming in, big amount of damage. Urgot is here, but the wall is separating everyone. Shy trying to get in onto Darrison. Darrison trying to run away. The ult coming out. It's gonna pick him up again. Meanwhile, though, Vino on the side here trying to hope to get a kill, but is gonna fall. 2 kills going over to Sint and the grubs as well. So no big double grubs stacking for the side of Sinner. I don't know if they picked up. Did they pick up one of them there? I'll have to see.
Don't know if they did. Either way, the final score is 3-3 for those little void grubs. So no one's gonna have that 5 grub threshold crossed. So no spawning extra grublings as they're pushing for these towers. As Urgot is up there, is taking a plate and is now continuing to shove. And the rest of Sint is going to rotate over to try to get a second dragon. This one being the Infernal Drake. Zeri did get the push bot side, and mid is pretty neutralized. So we'll have to see. Yumi's on the way. Rek'Sai does not have TP. Neither does the Urgot. So it's going to be a 4v4 bot side for that dragon. Let's see how it plays out.
Yeah, and Vino's is almost up, though. So if this fight drags out long enough, could manage to teleport in as him and Shy are going at it, dueling it out. Shy does not have the ultimate, but neither does Vino. But Vino has the W for all those beautiful heals, as Sinner is going to pick up the dragon. Pretty uncontested. Everyone just kind of backed out there. And it's going to be Chemsoul this game.
Ooh. Chemsoul is... Oh, there's a nice little charm.
Yeah, nice little charm there from OTF.
So a nice trade there, a nice little pickup of, I guess it's not really a trade, it's a nice little catch to get some chunk damage out. But right there when they were going for that dragon, it was a good opportunity to maybe have a quick 4v4 before the Rek'Sai teleport was up. But Nautilus got caught lacking a little bit and has to flash over that wall there, right there behind the dragon, or rather in front of it. And so that kind of neutralizes the play right there. You've lost your flash on your support, your engage, and at that point it's probably just going to be easiest to call the play off. You already have one dragon, so giving one back isn't super meaningful. They elect to make that call and just rotate back to catch their waves. Dragon going over to Little Juice Pack and Synergy. And Sinner. We'll just go Sinner. Yeah.
Synergy. That's another beautiful pun. As the game, though, has swung in Sint's favor. The gold lead in the last 4 minutes has swung about almost 4,000 gold in the other direction. So 3K up, actually a little over 2K up for Sint. And most of that gold focused on the top side of the map. Sinner really focused on this bottom side. We were saying, they had to get the Urgot ahead. The Urgot is ahead now, about 1,100 gold. Mid lane also up 1,100. So in really good positions to take over this game if given the opportunity. But still got to respect the Zeri. She hasn't really been involved in any of these fights yet. And whenever she shows up, everyone just kind of bails from Sint. So the Zeri is going to really, I think is going to be Sinner's way back into this game.
Now, the one problem for Synergy that you really, or Sinner, that you really have to be, never mind, we're going to have a fight here.
Yeah, we are going to have a fight. The Nautilus all coming through. The flash from Nightmare to try to go over, and Durag once again going a little too far forward. It's going to get chased down.
They want this.
And yeah, they do want it. The Yuumi ult coming through. Nightmare doesn't really have too much to chase them down with right now. Kiora just kiting back. The ult coming through from Nightmare.
Here's Rek'Sai.
The teleport coming through. Nightmare is going to go down. Little Juice looking for this Durag. Durag's going to walk out with just the sliverest of health, but I think it's almost over. OTF going to pick up the arrow, going on a rampage, getting over the wall. Juice Pack is here, and now Durag will finally fall. Kiora picks him up on the side. Vino going to shut down OTF. A big fight for Sinner. Only lost 1 and took 3 to it, so good overall.
Yeah, it's a nice turn back around. You played it really aggressively because Zeri is allowed to play aggressively because they know they have the teleport from Rek'Sai to back them up. And you see on the bottom of your screen there on the mini map, you have that ward in the pixel brush. You have that ward in the bush, and the upper tri bush, I guess we can call it there, tri brush. And they have so many different places for this Rek'Sai to teleport into, where really Zeri says, hey, Nautilus hooked in and took 2 tower shots. We can bait this. We can play this out. Tristana can come down and catch this fight as well. So Zeri and Yuumi played very aggressively. Rek'Sai teleports in, and they make Nightmare and the rest of the team pay for that over-aggression by playing for that fight and really angling quite hard. I mean, Nightmare on that Xin Zhao landed the Q over the wall and elects to flash forward to try to get in range to dash forward. And it's just, like, at that point, the Zeri's under tower at that point. There's no real need to play that aggressively, but they choose to do it anyways, and they pay for it.
Yeah, they do pay for it. They did manage to get the turret on the top side, though, so Chai managed to at least get a little something out of that whole ordeal. But it's still a rough position. Only up 1,000 gold right now. Still a lead for Sint. They still are in a commanding position right now, but it really is going to depend on how these fights play out. OTF trying to push forward. We do see Durag coming up and trying to look for an angle. And I think the Herald's going to be the play. Both these teams kind of pinging already around it, looking for an opportunity to maybe go for it. Could be a big deal. I mean, if they can break that mid turret open, mid, just such a big deal once you take that first mid turret. It gives you so much map control.
It's really good for both of these teams because the Ahri really wants to be roaming out of lane and putting pressure onto side waves. It also gives you the ability to get the Jinx and the Nautilus out of this kind of long lane bot side into this bad matchup up against a now 4-0 Zeri. So you don't have to deal with that just being constantly shoved underneath you. You can rotate the Ahri out of that lane, put the Jinx in that to farm safely in the back line, and Nightmare's looking for a fight.
Yeah, he is. He gets onto Little Juice Pack, but no one really there to follow him up, and he's going to have to back out. They're looking, though. Zeri is here in the mid lane, and that turret could fall pretty quick if they're not careful. I mean, they've got to really respect this Zeri damage. Like I said, 4-0, already got a full item done, almost done with a second item already. Kiora just kind of kiting back and poking. Durag looking for maybe an engage, but hard to go over those rocks from Little Juice Pack. Chemtech Dragon gonna be the name of the game here. Tristana does have teleport, so can come down. Might try to push this turret a little bit first as the dragon is started up. Burning down really quickly. Juice Pack gonna ult. I'm not sure why. It goes flash over and is getting caught, gets charmed up, is gonna go down. Now it's just Kiro onto the front line. Or sorry, not Kiro, Vino onto the front line, gets the ult, try to get the kill, but is gonna go down. Domination gonna pick up that kill here now. It's just Zeri versus 5 with Yuumi. Can she do anything? The dash forward from OTF. Turret gonna go down on the top side at least, so Darrison gonna pick that up. The charm does land. Their hook lands. The Zeri might not be much longer for this world. Is gonna get eaten up, and the reward is the loot pinata. Yuumi gonna fall as well. 4 for nothing in favor of Sint. They lose a turret, but they pick up one, a dragon, and the herald for themselves.
Yeah, and crucially, they got that mid lane tower with that as well. So not only the mid lane tower do they get anyways, but they also get that herald, the flick. Oh, that's a nice flick there. Domination's dead.
Domination back and is gone. Gonna pick up the kill. Little Juice Pack gonna secure that. So at least a little something back from.
Yeah, I don't know why Jinx is pushing that far forward. All you're doing at that point onto the tower is just chunking it. It's not going to give you any actual value on the map. So when you could just be going back, resetting, getting your item, has now completed the Static Shiv and the Kraken Slayer. So it would have been much better to get those items just completed, get back onto the map, and keep pushing the tempo forward with that Herald. But no, elects to push forward and dies for it as OTF's in trouble.
Yeah, OTF forced to ult to get out. The teleport coming through from Chai, though. So they do burn an ult. They do burn a teleport. Might be worth it for them. Kira now pushing up in the mid lane. No one there to really help except for Nightmare and Durag. That turret just falls to pieces as it goes down. You got to respect the double AD carry. It's very difficult to stop them when they get on a turret. And now the gold, only 2,500 difference between these two teams. And yeah, it's looking the fights. I feel like they still can go either way. As Domination is getting wrecked by Kiora, and Durag walks forward to try to block. Ooh, you got to be careful. Even though Zeri hasn't finished the item, she's going for like kind of a roundabout way, trying to go half for 2 items right now. This is a very scary Zeri. When she finishes both of those, she's going to be a monster.
Yeah, Zeri is getting closer and closer to reaching that breaking point where she just starts to really take over the game. And given how far ahead she is, she's got about a 25 CS lead and those 4 kills. I guess Jinx has picked up a couple at this point, so is evening out the gold a little bit. But Zeri is just going to be so far ahead this game. Rek'Sai is looking for a little bit of a skirmish, though.
Yeah, Nightmare going forward as well. The flash from Chai to escape as Little Juice Pack tried to ult on in. It's like looking like they're just kind of jockeying for position right now. There's really nothing up except Baron coming up soon, but no one really in position to challenge that. Just trying to clear waves and farm up. I feel like that both these teams are going to try to play for this soul, or at least this next dragon. I think that's where this game is really going to explode.
Can we talk about this Rek'Sai really quick?
Yeah.
When you're Rek'Sai, you really want the, especially when you're going the tank Rek'Sai, you really want to be able to be clearing out waves as fast as possible. I don't know what Hollow Radiance does for you for that. As Ari is having some fun.
OTF finds Little Juice Pack. Little Juice Pack gonna get sniped from downtown by Domination as the Nautilus ult comes through. Kiora, though, does pick up OTF going forward. Huge Zeri ult and a Yuumi ult, too. They're looking for some kills right here, but getting hooked up and rooted. They're not gonna find really much. Taking a lot of damage. Kiora gonna get killed. A double kill for Nightmare and a double kill, I think, overall for Domination. It comes a little slow. Vino trying to run away. The ult, though, from the Urgot is gonna secure that, and it's a 5-for-1 and ace for the side of Sint.
Well, that was really close to a Zeri moment there, but Kiora does finally drop, gets hooked up by Dragon Ball Durag, and then hooked right into those traps from Domination as they've taken that fight. They've taken that inner mid tower and they've rotated straight up to the Baron. Little Juice Pack is stuck sitting clearing waves mid lane. There's not going to be anything that she can do about this as Dragon Ball Durag's getting pretty low there. You might want to be careful, buddy.
Yeah, I might give it away, but does manage to secure it before anyone finds out and before he dies. So Baron secured, turret secured, kills secured. It's looking really good for Sint right now.
Especially because Urgot got that solo kill there onto the Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai is basically going to be useless in the side lane at this point against that Urgot. Has the Black Cleaver completed, the Sterax, and is now building towards another AD tank bruiser item, and will just continue to make Rek'Sai's life more and more difficult. One thing that is in favor for Sinner right now is that Zeri now has 5 kills. Tristana is getting closer and closer to completing that second item.
Ooh,
See a
getting
fight.
caught up right there. Juice Pack also been fought out by a Nightmare. Gets ulted out of there. The ult trying
They're
to
going
keep
for
him
this.
alive. Yeah, they are. The ult is going to drop, so this is going to take a lot of damage and a shutdown for little Juice Pack right there. As Vino did rotate up. Top inner turret, though, is going to fall, so Sint does have that. The split pushing already working, but they're going to lose Dragon for it. Unless Chai can say something about it, he is over here. He is 5-0. So Darish is teleporting up. This could be the sign. I mean, it is basically a 3v2 if they rotate down. The Jinx rocket coming through is not going to secure it. And little Juice Pack's going to pick it up. Darish now up here to deal with OTF to try to stop that inhibitor turret from falling. But Sinner, still, despite being down, is looking for plays.
Yeah, it's still a very close game despite it being like that basically 6,000 gold lead for Sint, simply because Zeri can game. Zeri is absolutely that champion that can 1v9 a match, especially with a Yuumi in the back pocket and the front line of a tank Rek'Sai, who, to be fair, is not very tanky at this point in the game, relatively speaking, but it could be just enough. And you have the worked ground or whatever it's called from those passive stones that Talia has, just to make it more difficult for the champions like the Nautilus, like the Ahri, the Xin Zhao, and the Urgot, who all have dashes, who want to get onto that Zeri. Just makes it more difficult for them to do so. So Zeri now, 3 items completed, has the Runons. That's 60% crit for her now, and she's just getting closer and closer to finding that legendary Zeri moment where she just goes through and straight up pentakills the entire game. On the flip side, though, Jinx has also completed 3 items: the Kraken Slayer, the Infinity Edge, and that Static Shiv is completed. So all things considered, Jinx has really gotten herself back into the game, which is, props over to Domination 2340.
Yeah, very big props, especially how far behind they were. Now, little Juice Pack getting engaged on by Nightmare, getting very low, trying to jump out. OTF, though, is probably going to find this. Juice Pack is surrounded and is going to go down. OTF going to pick up that kill. Now, teleport coming in from Chai. They're going to try to push it down this minute. They've got the Baron. They want to make this buff work. They want to crack this base open. Kiora trying to stall it, but there is no front line right now. Ooh, that Nautilus was close. The inhibitor is going to fall. They're going to back up, but they have cracked the base finally. Sint actually going to look for this top side now with this rotation up. The Baron has expired, so they won't have that much pushing pressure, but they still have 10 seconds until little Juice Pack responds. And yeah, like you were saying, it is like, it's really difficult. I mean, Yuumi can't. I mean, Zeri can pop off, but she's got to have those moments. And Chai taking some damage. But yeah, Zeri, if she can get that beautiful fight, she can find it. But we have also seen that from Jinx. I'm sure you remember from LCS Spring Finals 2022 with that.
I was there.
Yeah, I was there too. It was beautiful from Danny. That like dream pentakill. The dream that we could see it. You could happen. They've got the tank. They've got the setup. But we'll have to see if either of these AD carries can find a penta this game, as things are just kind of slowing down. Jinx just trying to farm up a little bit. I think they're just waiting for the next dragon. It's coming up in 2 minutes, as is Baron, so they could trade for those.
The real, like, one of the real problems for Sinner right now is that Darison on the Tristana went for that Hail of Blades build, which is a very kind of snowbally early game build as OTF misses the charm.
It does miss the charm.
It's still going to go down, though, because Kiora is gaming on the Zeri.
Yeah, that Zeri was like 2 shots and just murdered Ahri. Might as well make a fur coat out of that fox.
There you go. And then what Kiora could do is take that fur coat and sell it on the black market to get more money towards those items.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I wonder what do you think the next item she's going for? I feel it's going to be lifesteal. Like, I'm thinking Bloodthirster. I'm
thinking Bloodthirster as well. It's the only, unless no, it's got to be Bloodthirster. Yeah, that's the only thing that makes sense.
Domination's been out, forced to flash and drop the traps, so won't have that in this fight. We'll have to play extra defensive here, as Sinner, despite being down, is the one playing with a lot of aggression here. Sint just. Their aggression is getting a little caught out. Oh, the Rek'Sai. The ult, the shutdown. Vino, the big play. Now little Juice Pack trying to save their top laner who's trying to get out. Is taking a lot of damage, but the healing is absurd right now. and the ult is going to miss from Shy, but Kiora coming up on the side looking for OTF right there. The fight is split in two into big parts right now. Nightmare's going to pick up Darren, a little juice pack about to fall, getting hooked. It's just Kiora and the Yumi and the was it Yumi and the Beast instead of Beauty and the Beast? Is this
That was that was a big mistake there from Kiora, in my opinion. I think Zeri, you really want to be playing with your team. They don't know Nightmare's here, by the way.
They do not, and they're looking for it. The hook does miss, but does go over the wall. It's really hard to lock down a Zeri. But I agree. I think you shouldn't be going forward in that situation. You really need to kite back with your team.
Zeri is such a good kiter as well, especially because you have the front line of the Taliyah, kind of the Taliyah rocks. You got the Tristana who can ult people away that get too close. Zeri just needs to sit back and let the team die so that she can pump out more and more damage. If she had stayed there behind while the enemies are trying to hit the Taliyah and the Tristana, maybe they can turn that fight around. They had such a good angle for it, but just gets split up and torn to pieces because the Zeri is just distracted trying to shoot people over the wall, and that's kind of a fool's errand to try to make kills right there, unless you want to literally dive under their inhibitor tower. But the rest of the team just gets to chase for free onto the Taliyah and the Tristana, pick up the two kills in a fight that should have been in favor, actually, of Sinner goes in favor of Sint. But the gold has closed up a little bit. We're down to about a 5,000 gold difference again. It was getting close to 8,000 or 9,000.
Yeah, it is starting to narrow a bit, and we're approaching the point where that, especially with where these champions are in their builds, where that gold difference might not be as important much longer. Once everyone's full build, you could be up 40,000 gold. It won't make a difference because, you've got a full build. But will they be able to get to the full build point? Baron is being pinged right now. And while we were talking, Sint also took the dragon. So they're on soul point. They can really force something if they want. If they want to wait 4 minutes, they could try to just trade one dragon for Baron or trade the Baron for a soul. But right now, they're just kind of jockeying for vision, it looks like. Trying to really set up a vision line, maybe look for a pick. If they can find one, they could have the opportunity for Baron. Durag looking. Nightmare, though, finds Juice Pack. The W, though, is going to push him back. Does get a poke down. The teleport coming through from Darrison right away. And Urgot is going to go. That's the call for Urgot. He's going to go bot side. Going to look for that.
Should be his tower.
Yeah, it should easily be his tower. ODF, though, looking. Nightmare does find Darrison, but is forced to ult as the entirety of Sinner pounces. OTF now on the run. Does get hit by the Yumi Q. Vino goes forward. Gets the knock up in the air. OTF forced to ult to get away. And now 2 ults down for the side of Sint. Sinner could make something happen, but Vino is just going to back here. Does have the teleport, so could continue to look. OTF going forward, though, trying to hit the charm. Does miss. Darrison going forward with the flash. The hook does land. The ult does too. Darrison getting low. OTF going to pick up the kill, but Zeri is Zeri gaming right now. Nightmare does pick up a kill on the side there. Ari is down. Kiora trying to get away. The Zeri will fall. It's just the Yumi now onto Vino. The ult coming through, looking for Durag, but isn't going to find it. Is going to fall. Illicit Raven is the next one. An ace for the side of Sint, and I think that might be all she wrote for game number 1. The minions are lined up. They're in position. Enough members are alive. I think that's going to be the game.
Those were 2 really clutch hooks out of Dragon Ball. Lands the hook to cancel the rocket jump from Tristana. Then gets the reset on that hook cooldown. Then in the very next fight, Kiora is trying to weave those shots through the match. And in the last moment there, just hooks a anchor right around to the middle of that fight, and it lands right onto Kiora perfectly again, locks down that Zeri and allows them to come away with a big team fight win there. I give all the credit of that fight over to the Nautilus, who played that brilliantly in that fight.
Yeah, that was a fantastic play right there. He flashed forward, and I was like, oh, he missed, and then he just cues, immediately catches Darrison, and it's just that the story is told from there. Fantastic game out of Sint, looking like the better Sin right now. And I feel like Sin needs to go back to the drawing board. I feel like they might want to reconsider the Rek'Sai. I feel like Vino definitely had a lot of struggles that game, and I might be, if they go with it again, definitely want to change up the build a little bit.
Yeah, tank Rek'Sai can work very well, but it's very dependent upon how your team plays around it. And I think in matches like Challenger Elos, Pro Scene, for example, the tank Rek'Sai can work. But as you get lower in Elos and you're not quite in that, that Challenger, that 0.1% of 0.1% level of gameplay, playing for a bit more of a damage and split push style Rek'Sai that can match the side lane pressure of an Urgot, maybe going for a Black Cleaver, maybe you want to look for even more aggressive and go for a Blade of the Ruin King, a Stride Breaker is probably going to be a better build for you in non literal pro level games. But the Rek'Sai had its moments, had some nice little kills there, and it showed promise. It just didn't quite work out. The Urgot got too far ahead, and the Zeri just got caught a couple times by those Nautilus hooks. Just a bit unfortunate in those team fights, because Zeri came awfully close to having a Zeri moment there in that last fight.
Yeah, it was so close, but the CC layering was good. We'll have to see if they can adapt, if Sinner can come back, or if Sint will be able to close us out 2-0 and draw themselves up to even in the standings. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with game number 2 right after this.
up till dawn. But how can I hide it without an alibi? It's a runner's fight without an alibi. Took my innocence. I can't wait no longer. I'm playing with the monsters. Everything that brought me alive. Oh, we're all like monsters, playing with the monsters. They brought me alive, but got no alibi. It's a runner's fight without an alibi. Took my innocence without an alibi.
Showing off, don't wanna have to wait tonight, wait tonight. Better off, I'm gonna find my way tonight, wait tonight. Won't you talk to me? I wanna heal your sorrow. Won't you talk to me? We'll make a new tomorrow. Won't you talk to me? We'll make this happen.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Divinity League. I am Raptor, sorry, little hiccup right there. Joined by Sharpie as we are on our way for game number 2, this time without the technical hiccups. And we're going to see if Sint can close us out with a 2-0 and tie their sister team, right? They are sister teams?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, tie their sister team in the standings, or if Sinner can make the comeback and hold on to the top spot. So we're underway. Different bands starting it out, but Zach Seraphine once again for the side of Sint. Do not want to see that. They clearly do not like that pick. But let's see if Sinner has any adaptations coming into it. Same bands. Will it be new picks though?
Yeah, I don't expect to see the Rek'Sai first picked this time. Surprised that we didn't see like some bans towards those AD carries, because both of them got pretty far ahead. But maybe they're just comfortable to trade it once again, because I wouldn't be surprised if we see another Zeri and Jinx game from them, as Ahri is this time going to be the first pick. Probably a smart pick. Ahri is very good right now.
Yeah, I'm surprised. The last game there wasn't a ban for it, but I didn't see any pick Smolder. You know, I thought we would see more of it. It's still very powerful, especially with how long some of these games can go. So it'll be interesting to see as Sint goes for the Jinx again, and now is taking the Hui. Do they know the way to use him though?
There's two ways you could use him. You could use him mid, you could use him support. And it's just up to Dragon Ball Durag and OTF 27 to figure out, to play rock, paper, scissors in their draft and figure out who gets them. But on the flip side, no surprises there. Zeri is the response to the Jinx, and this time they're going for a Blitzcrank.
Yeah, I guess they're expecting that's going to be the Hui support. Very difficult to deal with as an Enchanter. The Blitzcrank, very strong pick. Even for Jinx, she has no dash or way. But it is going to be Hui mid. There is the Braum, so they have locked that in. They've shown their hand. And that's actually someone you do not want to pull if you are Blitzcrank. So good counter pick there. Good mind games coming out from Sint. We're on to the second phase of bans. Both sides still need top and jungle. It's actually, I think, the lowest I've ever seen jungle priority go for both teams combined. Usually one always picks in the first. So what do you think? What are you hoping to see for both these teams in these next couple picks?
I want to see some proactive junglers. I did not mind the Xin Zhao. I thought that one would work fine. Vi was another one I would like to see, but that's obviously going to be banned away. I am surprised that Sint would ban it away, though, because I feel like Vi would be really good just to be able to lock down that Zeri. There's nothing you can do to stop Vi from getting to that Zeri once she hits the R button. Can't charm her out of it, can't hook her out of it, nothing. So, Vi's going to get there no matter what. So I feel like Vi would have been a good pick here on R4 for Nightmare, but we'll see what they want to go with here. Maybe a Volibear. Maybe a Wukong. Interesting. Now, Wukong can also be flexed to top lane, so we'll have to see if Nightmare wants it or if it's going to Chai.
Yeah, that's an interesting pickup to see. They must have something they're planning. They must have something deep in the pocket to pull out here in the back end. Viego coming through for Sinner. Strong champion. Good pick, honestly, I think, especially if you can take over Hui. You've got so many abilities you can just use. So good. A good selection there, but gonna need to get ahead. They need something beefier, and it's gonna be a Singed. Wow. Ooh. Not something I would expect to see. I don't know. Have we seen one this season?
Not that I know of. At least, certainly it has not been on stream. And Chai there, I think, yep, there's going to be the Urgot lock-in. So it's going to be running the Urgot again, but Singed. That's really exciting to see. Yeah. I'm excited for this.
I'm excited too. They've got the Sinner's been cooking. We left them in the kitchen and for a little bit in that break, and they cooked something up exciting. I'm excited to see Vino play this, or Vilno. But looking at these comps right now, what do you think of them both?
I want to see Sinner win this one because I want to see Singed win. I want to see some good Singed gameplay. I want to see how you can make Singed be a win condition for this team. Let's see how it happens, because screw waiting, screw a short break. We're going straight into game number 2, and Vino's invading on the Singed.
Already aggressive. They're already looking very aggressive with this one. Last time they just sat 5-man in a bush. This time they're the ones making a play here. Sint counters with a little bit of vision on the top side. Both these teams cooking up something a little spicy. I think Sinner definitely cooked something really spicy up this game. They must have been using our wonderful sponsor ProComps for that. ProComps, the great platform. We've been talking about it all season. It's a fantastic program for helping you up your drafting game. Actually, we'll have to hold off on talking more about that as they continue to push on in. Sinner really just wants to get a lot of vision control. Illicit Raven, the Blitzcrank level 1 is, I don't know if there's any champion more dangerous level 1 than Blitzcrank. That hook.
Fair. Yeah. Yeah, hard to say. They are going to be going for a steal here, so this could get really dicey here right at just level 1 as they're stepping in for this, so this is going to be a fight here.
Yeah, they're looking for it. Nightmare is not gonna, actually, does manage to secure it there, so is gonna get, the flash. Dragon Ball Durag does manage to get out there, but now they're gonna have a little bit less pressure in the lane. Won't be able to flash forward to secure anything. Gonna have to play extra careful, especially until it gets the hop from the W. Because now Chai and Vilno going at it again. A little bit more beef. Hopefully it doesn't rush the MR this time. We didn't bring it up last time in the draft, in the game, but we did see Vilno rush the MR item on the Rek'Sai. Let's see what it goes for this time.
Yeah, I don't want to see an MR item rush into a double AD top jungle. That just screams win trading to me. But obviously that's not what's going on. It's just I feel like Hollow Radiance is an item that you look at it and you think this has got to be an armor item, but no, it's an MR one.
Yeah, it could
So,
be.
Maybe got to be reading the item descriptions a bit more there, but it's okay. It happens. It's not the first time we've seen it either, where someone picks a Hollow Radiance into a double AD topside, but is what it is. It's the tech, and it's both times I've seen it, it has lost. So is what it is. But the Singed is up there gaming and having a good time. Urgot gets a quick little reset to buy some Reeboks up there, and Pink Warden's gonna head right back into lane. Bot side, obviously the Zeri's gonna have push early because Jinx just has struggles to clear the minions until she gets a little bit of gold. There's a nice hook.
Yeah, beautiful hook there on to Durag, but the shield comes up, so not going to take too much damage. Again, doesn't have the flash, so isn't really able to, outside of using the W to jump, doesn't have a lot of mobility to speak of. But they did wait till 3, so they do also have the XP advantage. So that's going for them as a charm does land onto Nightmare. Is forced to try to use the decoy. Vino is here. Chai coming down too. The stun onto Nightmare. Nightmare flashes, but Juice Pack goes right after him. He wants it. He smells blood, and he's going to get the first kill of the game. Oh, and now a flash charm from Darrison to catch OTF, but he's going to just run.
It's a lot of damage coming out from the Ahri. Oh, the Q is just going to miss.
Yeah, good weaving of auto attacks in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a nice little catch, though. Charm is going to land on a minion, so the minion will fall in love there briefly and have some quick ideas of a long and happy marriage and relationship, and then suddenly have those dreams dashed as you get sent to gray screen. So, go off, minion. I wish you your best life. And Ahri was not interested in a romantic pursuit with you. Ahri just wanted gold. So, is what it is. Welcome to Marriage and Dating Advice with Sharpie. But we see a flank here. Nightmare's going in.
Yeah, looking for Darrison. Oh, that almost killed him. The double W right there. I think that's QW. Sorry, QW. Hitting very well. I forgot what the exact name of that combination is. I just call it the volley strike.
I think OTF 27 is saying there's no way that didn't kill the Ahri right there.
No way, he should have died. But gold basically dead even right now across both these teams, as Vino getting losing that end of the trade. Mid lane, actually, the Ahri is really down in CS, which, I mean, it is hard. Ahri doesn't really have good wave clear compared to Hui. Hui could just throw out what is basically a Vel'Koz E at any time. Is Nightmare and Juice Pack kind of fighting over this Gromp. I always mix up Krug and Gromp. I don't know why I want to keep calling them the different names. I know what they are. But and
I love this top lane. Watching them just flip each other over each other's back, like Urgot jumps in and flips to Singed over, then Singed goes and says, "No, let my turn to suplex." They just flip each other back and forth. It's some real WWE type gameplay topside. It's so funny to watch.
They need WWE skins for these champions. I would love a match
do.
where it's just every time they do that, it's just legendary skins and they're just suplexing each other over the back.
Pitch it to Riot. I think like that's honestly a really great idea. These champions that have these flips, like it should be a thing.
That would be the second skin I've pitched to them that gets made, so I would be down.
What was the first one? Let's hear some lore. What's your story?
When I was in college, the rioter came to town. Actually, we'll wait till tell the story until OTF gets caught out here by Juice Pack, taking a lot of damage right here. Is gonna manage to get away. Vino is stopping the grub take. Little grubs going around. Everyone is around here to fight. Dragon Ball has come up. Wants to show off his little do-rag on Rom. But it kind of breaks up. So back to the story. When I was in college, a rioter came to town, to our college, and I was talking about skins in League, and this was probably 2015 or so, and I'm like, you know what skin you should make? And or 2015, 2016, sometime in there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, it was 2016 because it was after graduation. Anyways, I was like, you know what skin this game needs? And he's like, what? I'm like, Corgi. And he goes, what? I'm like, yeah, it's just Corgi riding a Corgi. And he's like, that skin would never get made. Like, what are you talking about? And then about 7-8 months later, or actually, I can't remember the exact date Corgi came out, but Corgi came out, and I messaged him like, I thought you said the skin was never coming, and he never.
That's funny.
I like to think that I came up with the idea of Corgi. I feel like that's a pretty easy idea. Like it's rhyming names, but
it's a great skin too. He's got the little Corgi butt shake, the butt wiggle that Corgis do.
I have the little plush. It's so cute. Like, honestly, it's one of my favorite skins in the game. There's a lot of good skins. Even look at like this Blitzcrank skin on right now that Raven's playing. It's a really cool skin.
Yeah, the skins department has definitely been cooking for the past few years.
Speaking
Unlike
of-
the champion balance and patch team, which have definitely been. We won't get into that. If I say what's on my mind, I will be fired and imprisoned for 6 months. So,
well, I think it's fine. I mean, nothing's ever perfectly balanced. I've seen some games with some wild balance decisions.
This is true.
Remember CS when they released the R8 revolver? Not only was it perfectly accurate while you're moving, you could also do the revolver shot where you shoot all 6 bullets at once, and it was perfectly accurate while you're moving in a game about not moving when you shoot.
That sounds very healthy for a game.
Yeah, it lasted about a day. Then they nerfed it. They're like, maybe we shouldn't have introduced this gun like that.
Real.
Yeah.
But I guess every dev team deserves their moments where they say, what if we tried this after a short amount of testing, they hot fix it and they say, yeah, we definitely should have stayed out of the kitchen for this one.
Yeah, sometimes it's not even purposeful. Sometimes it's accidental. I had a game when I first started playing. Like, God, I can't. It was pre-rework Gangplank. All I remember
those days
is he had a day where his ult was broken. So that it did. I think it was originally set to like it. They actually added an extra 0 to the scaling.
I remember that.
Yeah. So I was in a game with a Gangplank who purposely would like let us die and fight and then just ult, and because he wanted to get as many pentas as he could. He had 65 kills and 8 pentakills across a 35-minute game.
Riot is so base. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, it got nerfed right from this was early league, but it was just funny. He'd be like, "It's okay." Walk into the fight, about to die, ult, insta pentakill every time.
Was that the old Gangplank where you go AP Gangplank just for the ult?
No, he went straight AD, I think, or did he go AP? I can't remember his.
I'm pretty sure old Gangplank ult was just like a straight up AP item, which I've seen Bwippo. Bwippo's been on stream playing AP Gangplank.
Ugh.
Which is crazy.
I actually used to play a lot of old Gangplank. It's actually where I got all my mastery points on him. Actually, what to hold on that is Darrison getting caught out by Nightmare, but is going to dash out and get away. Game has just been kind of slow and steady. Everyone just farming, light poke. Nothing really crazy going on in here.
The That's a nice prediction there by OTF.
Yeah,
Nice.
good predict, and is also doing well in the farming too, up about 20 over 20 CS on Darrison. Darrison's had a rough time this game on the RE, and the Hui is just continuing to be a big problem. Already now up almost 30 CS, and even the top side 30 CS different too. But can little Juice Pack change it as it goes in on the Chai? It's the stun. Vino just running around, doing what Singe do. Smoke. Chai gets ulted and dies. Lil Juice Pack gonna pick up that kill in a very silly kind of fight, as now Dragon Ball Durag gonna hop the wall here, get out. Nightmare is over here. Illicit Raven hasn't spotted him, but he's gonna walk right into the bush. But here comes Juice Pack, here comes Vino. They are both here. Raven trying to run away and gets hooked. Up right there, doesn't get to use it. Nightmare trying to get the ult, trying to get the spin. Dragon Ball Durag dropped his ult too. They're trying to finish the the Blitzcrank. Wukong does manage to get it, but Vino's going to pick up the kill there. Dragon Ball Durag forced to flash over the wall. Juice Pack going to go over too. Turns into Braum, looking for a way to pick off ODF here. ODF on the run. Darrison, if he can hit a charm, could be big here. The ult from Juice Pack, it's gonna land, and he's gonna pick up another kill. Juice Pack goes on a rampage, a 4-0 Viego. That's not what you want to see 12 minutes into the game.
If you're in scrims right now and this happens, you probably say, GG, let's restart this scrim. This game is basically over. A fed Viego is basically one of the worst things you could have if you're Sint here. It's not looking good. Top side, on the bright side, the Urgot is... Oh, wait.
Yeah, they are trying... Yeah, the Urgot is Urgotting. Chai hasn't gotten it back yet, so doesn't have the items. Does get the Void Grubs, but pays for it with his life. Worth it, though. This is where you go in the chat and you type worth, even if you did give up a bounty, as Durag does get pulled back here. Zeri going forward, doing Zeri things. Both these AD carries on such strong picks. I think they both performed very well. It's still a rough lane matchup for the side of Sint. They haven't had the issues they had last game where they were just losing 2v2s, but they are still down about 20 CS, almost 30, so in still a rough position. Meanwhile, though, top side is a completely different story this game.
Vino's, has completed that Rylai's, so has that kind of big point where you can walk up a lot more confidently and, attack the wave because missed the cannon there. That's okay. You know that you can kind of just walk up onto the enemy top laner and just kind of, you're everywhere you walk, you're basically slowing the ground around you, so Urgot can never really chase you anymore. So Singe can feel a lot more confident in walking up to the waves here.
Yeah, I'm going to be pretty confident going after it. The dragon does fall. It's going to be Mountain Soul this game. Could be a big one. Those shields could well make the difference, especially with how close some of these fights have been in this series. So we'll have to see who can secure it this time, as Raven looking for Durag. But yeah, this is, while Vino is still losing the top side overall, he has managed to assist his jungler in getting ahead. Juice Pack has looked much better this game. As I say that, Nightmare is chasing him down with the ultimate. They're really looking for him. 4 people chasing this Viego, but he's so fast. You're not gonna be able to run him down, and Zeri's W is gonna allow that little zap gun, gonna slow them all, stop the chase. And I think that's worth it. I don't think he got the blue buff, did he? Let's see. Can we look at Juice Pack? We're going to see if he got the blue buff.
I'm pretty sure Nightmare got it.
You would be correct. Yes, he did.
So Nightmare did protect the blue buff from being stolen by little Capri Sun over there, the Viego. But OTF has had a lot of prio here in mid lane. It's pretty impressive how they piloted the Hui here in game 2. Ooh. That's a lot of chunk onto Darrison as well.
Yeah, Darrison taking a lot. They're really struggling in this matchup. Raven, though, looking for OTF, trying to maybe get the hook. He's at point blank, does get the knockup, does get the pull. The charm lands as well. The ult does too. It's just everything in the kitchen sink thrown at him, and Darrison's going to pick up the kill. Does eat the Hui ult. Hui also flashed, so he used everything there to try to get out. And that could set up for a counter gank. Good roam from Raven.
Yeah, very well played as well to use the knockup to kind of bait the animation with the E instead of the Q. and OTF flashes, but that A animation is already in play, so you can't flash away from it. It's going to go through no matter what. Then waits for the knock-up animation to make it so that Hui basically can't run anywhere, then lands the hook safely, and it's GG from there. Goodbye, Hui. So much for that big lead you had mid lane, because now Ari has a kill, has the Malignance finished, and Hui is just kind of sitting on that AP tier item, which I completely forget what it's called.
Archangels.
Archangel staff. That's right.
Yeah, it hasn't evolved into the Seraphim quite yet, so it needs to really finish that up to really take advantage of it. It's not really as gold efficient until it's done, but getting close, so there's that opportunity. And, if there's another gank attempt, there's no way Hui's getting away from that.
There's no way Hui's getting away. I love it.
You said going away earlier, and I was like, oh, perfect. It's a perfect, all the puns. It's like, what's the other champion I like to have puns with? Akshan. Every time he goes in to make a play, I'm like, he's springing into Akshan.
Oh, there you go.
Riot likes to set up some good memes for me as someone who enjoys good dad jokes and puns. But 2,000 gold lead almost for Sinner. Looking really solid in this second game as Nightmare's coming down, looking for an opportunity to maybe make a gank right here. Got to be careful, though. Raven can really turn a gank around if you get too close to that turret. And the first will fall for the side of Sinner. Second might too. This Herald is dropping. Nightmare is on his way up. They're not even going to use the hooked in, like the engaged charge where you get into him. But they're taking the turret. Can they get out? Juice Pack forced to flash, trying to run away from Nightmare. Nightmare burning the ult right there. On the side, Darrison missing the charm. Now Juice Pack still running, still trying to escape. They're really trying to hunt him down, but Durag is getting low. Raven is here too. Everyone's just kind of panicking a little bit. Shy's come down, Vino's come down. Everyone's just around. The hook lands onto Chai, and no one is there to follow it up. Meanwhile, though, the ult burning from the Zeri, going for OTF, looking for it. Vino going in on the hunt, is gonna pick it up. It's actually gonna go over to Kiora, and now here on the side, Shy looking to maybe pick something up here, trying to get the Zeri. A little Juice Pack gonna pick up domination there. Chai gonna fall on the side. Nightmare gonna fall as well. It's gonna be 4-0 in favor of Sinner, and they are in control of this game right now.
Yeah, that was a massive overextension from Nightmare. You blow the ultimate and you just chase way too far for no reason. You're not going to get the kill there unless Little Juice Pack like severely messes up, and you're basically like hinging so much on Little Juice Pack for whatever reason, just turning around and trying to fight it, and just continues to run away because you have so much movement speed in that that hallowed miss, I think it's called. And
yes.
So it just runs it away, and at that point Blitzcrank shows up. Ari is there with the ultimate. In goes Singed with the ghost, runs right through the way, flips the Jinx back into the fight, and says, GG, go next. That was a really nice fight from Vino, by the way, popping the ghost and getting right into the backline.
Yeah, and there might be another fight right here as Little Juice Pack is caught by Nightmare, but the rest of the team is here. Ooh, if that hook had landed on the ODF, I think that was a guaranteed death. Vino here on the front line, just buying space, the fun of the Singe smoke. You can be on the front line, just walk back and forth and basically make a wall of death if anyone walks towards it. And now the juggling begins. This Mountain Drake, they don't want to let Sinner get to Soul Point. Sint trying to find an opportunity, looking for a pick. Nightmare trying to see if he can catch one of them out. The dragon has been started. Everyone's jockeying. They don't see into the bush. They don't see Durag there. I don't know if he's going to be able to do much. Vino goes forward. He flips Nightmare. Nightmare to go gets a big ult onto 4. And now the fight is on. Raven about to fall. Chai is going to fall to him, but domination goes down on the side here. Down goes Chai as well. It's a chase down. Durag about to fall too. It's going to fall to Vino. OTF going to die here on the side to Darrison at this rate. And now it's just Nightmare on the run, trying to get away from Vino, but gets flipped back into the smoke and going to get punched to death. A double kill for Vino, an ace for Sinner. Soul Point is where they sit on the Dragons, and this game is just looking like it's just looking so rough for Sin.
Yeah, we're not even 20 minutes into the game, and Sinner has basically an 8,000 gold lead. This is, as you could say from Sint, this is a nightmare situation for them. You do not want to be in this place at all. There's basically nothing you can do at this point because the Singe now has 2 items and is going to be incredibly tanky as a frontline. Viego has 2 items and can easily reset. Ari has that Malignance and now another item. What is that item called?
For Ari, that is Lichbane.
Lichbane, thank you. And then the Zeri with the static shiv and the infinity edge, and now has a zeal in pocket as well to get more crit, more attack speed, and is going to be building into a third item, most likely the Runon's Hurricane. It's very difficult to play this out, especially with Blitzcrank in the middle of the fight. Shy might be in trouble here.
I think he is going to be in trouble. Venus is going to tank this up. Little juice pack trying to get it, but the hook does go wide. They do get a couple turret shots off. So that's, I guess, a little bit worth it. I'm not sure how Singed managed to summon those grubs with that. Does his smoke summon the grubs from being near the turret? If so, maybe. That feels a little busted. You don't even have to hit the turret. You just run in circles and it does it itself.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, Sinner, like you were saying, though, like, it's just looking so strong here. Sint is just having a rough time. This was the opposite story of last game where mid and jungle really struggled for Sinner. This time, it's Sinner with the strong jungle mid that are working out. It's Sinner that is taking leads and making plays. And now OTF, I think, isn't going to be long for this world. The flea does hit Vino, but Vino's still ghosted. He's just going to chuck him. He's just going to punch him. I don't know how much longer he's got. Hui does drop the ultimate. OTF, though, I don't think you're getting out of this one, buddy. Gets flipped back into the smoke and finally falls. Vino becomes unstoppable on the Singe, 5-0 and 7, and is looking like a monster. Another turret falls on the top side, and the gold lead is 8,000. The bounties are up for Sint. This is a rough position to find yourself in, and now little Juice Pack looking like he might want to try to find Nightmare here. They do know he is there, or at least they know he's working on these. Juice Pack coming in and gonna steal him away, I think. He didn't steal. I think
Nightmare got him.
Yeah,
nice.
Does at least manage to get those.
That was a well-timed smite there from Nightmare. But that means no smite for Nightmare. They turn straight to the Baron. Little Juice Pack going to take this away. That should put him into a 10,000 gold lead plus. And at that point, I think it'll be very difficult for Sin to do anything. It's up to now. Oh, that would have been maybe your option there. That was close.
Yeah,
maybe a quarter of a second off. So very close to a steal there from Domination.
Yeah, very good attempt there from Domination. But yeah, this game is looking so much better for Sinner. And we got to talk about it. We were trying to talk about it earlier. We didn't get to. I think it's thanks to their usage of pro comps. Using our wonderful sponsor of this league helps you with your drafting, helps you create champion tier lists, helps you gives you recommendations when you're drafting. And dang, every time I try to talk about it, something breaks out. As Chai is fighting Darrison. We'll get to talk to you about it later, as now he gets hit by the charm. Chai gonna get knocked up. Little Juice Box going in, gonna pick up the kill. He's evolved from a pack to just a single box because he is just destroying everyone.
He's an absolute unit.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a little absolute unit. Now he's hunting Nightmare. Dragon Ball almost caught too, but the ghost is going to eat the taunt from the side of him. And let's see what happened over here with the Zeri just flashing forward to chase down Domination, who died there on the side of the fight. Didn't even get to respond, didn't even get an auto attack off. So this is just looking a little like the AD carry can't even walk forward to farm, just dies immediately anytime the AD carries in the area. As Juice Pack goes forward looking for Nightmare. Nightmare failed the flash again. Oh no! And now Dragon Ball trying to buy some space, but he's gonna pay for his life. But Nightmare probably won't get to make it out either. Kiora gonna pick up the kill there on the side, and now OTF almost dying on the top side too. My goodness.
OTF got a solo kill up there.
Yeah, did manage to stop Vino, so that's at least worth it. But it's gonna still cost them a middle turret, inhibitor turret. It's gonna cost them the inhibitor, and I don't think it's gonna cost them the game right yet. Nightmare's up too soon. They're not really positioning for it. But wow, Sinner just every time Sint takes an inch, Sinner takes a mile in this game.
Sinner needs to be. Yeah, there you go. Viego and the Blitzcrank are heading down towards Dragon because it's up in 15 seconds. Ari, I don't know if you should be up here. It's probably okay for you to clear this out, but it would be better if you would try to look immediately down towards the bot side. Crashing this one wave isn't really going to do too much for you because the tower is not going to drop here. Maybe you can get it if it could be bait just to allow them to take the dragon for free, but
She's gonna get it, and she's
he
also
got
got domination up here, and also got Dragon Ball. So there's only Nightmare down here to try to stop this dragon. Kiora and Raven gonna stop it. Soul gonna go over to Sinner. They've got the shields. They've got the 11,000 gold lead. 25 minutes into the game, and they might. No, they're not gonna have domination there. I thought there was a attempt at a charm, but the ward does spot him out. But yeah, they're in such a commanding position this game. I'm not sure how Sint can get back into this.
No, you're down 11,000 gold here at 25 minutes. It's basically up to Sinner to say, how fast do we want to close this game out? Do we want to sit back and enjoy it for a little bit, or do we want to, just say, go ahead, let's close this one out and go right into game 3? Jinx is starting to come online with that wave clear, but Kiora is stepping up, trying to, slowly chip away at that tower. Of course, the middle tower is already gone. So they're just choosing to say, we're going to go for the bot tower next. And it's really only a matter of time. Sure, Hui, Jinx have a lot of wave clear. So you can stall this game out pretty long, actually, if you are allowing yourself to just sit back and wave clear and never really fight. But you have that ticking time bomb as well. 5 minutes from now, the Elder Dragon will be up. And at that point, you really can't defend in your tower by yourself anymore. Same with Baron up in 2.5 minutes. So you got about 2 minutes of farming that you can give to the Jinx and the Hui if you're smart. But there goes Braum over the wall.
Yeah, right on over the wall, getting picked off right away. Vino's going to pick up that kill. Going to pick up a second one onto the Wukong. Domination about to fall too. Does fall to Juice Pack. Another kill going over to Kiora, and that's going to be the ace. That's going to be a double kill for... I almost got confused there with the Jinx, but that is a little Juice Pack picking up that kill for a double. And that's going to be the game. Game number 2 in the books. Sinner on the path to setting up a sole possession of first place. They've got one more game they've got to do. They've reset this series, and it's coming down to the final match of this series.
It'll come down to the final match indeed. It was a nice response here in game 2 from Sinner to take that game back from Sint. So, love to see it. We're going to go to game 3. Very exciting. Hopefully we get the vial pretty quickly so we can jump right into that, because these two teams have been fun to watch so far.
I agree. They've just been back and forth, a lot of aggression. Even when they're down, they're looking for plays. You love to see it. This is the kind of League of Legends you like to see. And this is what we expect from the top 2 teams in Divinity. Like, we're expecting this kind of performance from them. Like this back and forth, like, juking it out battle. So I can't wait to see how they adapt in game 3. Hopefully, and now with the game over, they'll be able to utilize our sponsor, ProComps. GG for that. ProComps, wonderful tool. We love having them as a sponsor. It allows you to set up create champion pools, custom tier lists for your teams, gives you live draft recommendations, ban suggestions, so you can know, hey, your opponent's really good at this kind of champion. You might want to ban that out, or with this kind of comp, they perform this well with this. So you maybe want to get rid of that too. Fantastic tool. We love seeing it. Even has some pre-game guides, which I think Vino used to help him figure out how to destroy someone with Sin, or got with Singed after that last game. So if you want to give it a try, it's completely free to use. Head on over to procomps.gg, download it today. It is part of Overwolf, so if you've got that, already easy to install. With that though, we're going to take a quick break, head on over to wait for game number 3. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I just wanna be happy, happy tonight. I've been waiting for you in the morning. I'll leave without giving a warning. I'll leave without giving a
These voices telling me what I said about you, about us and what we do. I will get your heart somewhere. Voices going through my head. These voices telling me what I said about you, about us and what we do.
They brought me alive without no alibi. It's a lover's fight without an alibi. Took my hands without an alibi.
Showing off, don't wanna have to wait tonight. Wait tonight. Better off, I'm gonna find my way tonight. Wait tonight. Won't you talk to me? I wanna heal your sorrow. Won't you talk to me? We'll make a new tomorrow. Won't you talk to me? We'll make this open face.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Sint versus Sinner in the Divinity League, our final game of the night, final game of the regular season. Both these teams jockeying for position at the top of the standings. I am Rapterror, joined once again by Sharpie. We've got the raffle file. The bans and picks and bans are underway. They're looking the same. I'm just curious, what are you hoping to see out of the draft this time, Sharpie? Oh. Sharpie's gone mute.
My mic was muted. I am so sorry. What I was saying is what I'm hoping to see is one thing. What I'm expecting to see is another. I expect to see just another, handshake of the Zeri Jinx bot lane, and then maybe some creativity mid jungle top. I want to see some more creativity bot side though. So maybe Kiora or Domination 2340 will have a little fun in this game 3 here. Ahri is going to be banned away. That was Vino's first pick there for Darrison. So what are they going to pick up here top side for game 3? Game 1 was the Rek'Sai first. Game 2 was the Ahri. Game 3 is going to be the Seraphine, which was banned away earlier.
Yeah, with both teams jockeying for the Ahri and not switching sides again. OTF decided I don't want to play against the Ahri. If I'm not getting it, just ban it. So they do that. Seraphine coming through. The Nightmare back on the Jin Zhao. It worked very well for them in the first game. So Blitzcrank also coming out for there. So a little bit of swapping sides there. I think the question is Seraphine bot or mid? Leona coming through here. Also a good pick into the Blitzcrank. Probably one of his biggest counters you can take in the game. Because grabbing her is basically a guaranteed one-way trip to death and the gray screen. But what will this next PA? It will be the Aurelion. So this is going to be Seraphine bot double AP. Interesting.
Seraphine Leona is a very strange lane.
It
But I'm here for it. There's the Yone counter pick into the Aurelion Soul. We've seen it a lot in LCS, for example, where Jojo Pune's been picking it into APA's Aurelion Soul with a lot of success. We've seen it in LCK as well. If they do blind the Aurelion Soul, Yone is just the way to go. So we are seeing some creativity in the bot lane, surprisingly, and some creativity mid lane so far too. I'm excited for this game. This is going to be a fun one.
I think so too. I'm very excited to see where they go with this as the ban's coming through. The Viego Sint does not want to deal with that again after last game. The little juice pack took off and the Felios ban coming through. So they're trying to force them down the AD carry pool a little bit though. Jinx and Zeri were both left up as a Smolder. So interesting ban decisions with the Aphelios and the Ashe. I guess the Ashe, they don't really have a lot of mobility and ways to block that. So probably a smart pick there. I don't know about the Aphelios as much, but what will Sint take here? I'm expecting it to be their AD carry so the top side can get the counter pick yet again. It is going to be the Veigar. So Veigar coming out for the bot lane, AP into AP. But I think the Veigar would be better, especially later in the game.
It could be a Yone top and a Veigar mid. There is a chance that is the case. I doubt it, but just be aware that could happen. The set, though, I think is good into the Yone, if I remember correctly. So maybe they don't know that this is a Veigar 80 carry, and they're just assuming, wait, no. What on earth are we cooking? Is that a set jungle?
It probably is. I would prefer if it was set support because I love set support. It's one of my favorites. And the Malphite coming through into the Urgot. Okay, so it's gonna be Veigar either bot or Yone bot. I have seen that before. It's pretty safe because you can just jump out at the minions, kill them, and then jump back.
Veigar I think is better because Dragon Ball can just hook somebody right into that cage, and then what is the Seraphine gonna do when you're in Veigar's cage? There's nothing you really can do. So that's
okay. So we have been informed that set is Viego, but Viego is banned. So I don't know how they picked Viego.
We're hearing from production that the set and the Viego were swapped. It was supposed to be a set ban and a Viego pick, not the other way around. Is what it is. We get to see a little juice pack run it back on the man of the mist himself that has no shirt and has a big hole in his chest like he's Iron Man. Viego in the jungle.
Yeah, I mean, I get why they had banned Set, especially if you're Set. Like, if you see that, and my first thought is, okay, it's Malphite because Malphite ults in, and the Set immediately ults him back. So
Uh-huh.
I can see why you'd get rid of that. Set also does very well into Malphite because despite having the armor, Set does tend to build items that shred tanks. Like he gets Bork, and he gets other items along that line, Cleaver. So I could see why they go with that. But that's okay. We get to see a little juice packed back on the Viego. I mean, if it says anything like last game, that could be pretty hype. And honestly, like I think for this series, like it's really important they got the Viego. This whole series has been decided, I feel, by how mid jungle goes for both these teams. When mid jungle gets behind, the team just falls apart. Where if they get ahead, they just run over. It doesn't matter how their side lanes are doing. So I've got it. We're gonna have to see them really try to step up here. Both of them picking up their really big, like win factors from their previous wins. Who's gonna come out on top with it? That we'll have to see.
Yeah, it's hard to say who's going to come out on top of this one. I think it's going to be very much a skill matchup, I guess you could say, of who can execute better. There isn't really one team comp that's really, I guess objectively better than the other. Malphite did elect to take, of course, that Comet build, which is really good. And to these ranged matchups, you have a bit more poke. I wonder if he does pivot into a bit more AP. Because, the Xin Zhao is going to be naturally a little tanky. The Blitzcrank's naturally going to be tanky. And the Xin Zhao, the Yone is just naturally going to be a little bit more tanky because of how much lifesteal is eventually probably going to show up, as the hook is going to go a little bit south there of the Seraphine, and no further shenanigan spot for now.
Yeah, I think it will be AP Malphite because tank Malphite honestly doesn't work in this situation because a Malphite, you always want to build armor, just lots and lots of armor. MR isn't as efficient on him because the scalings do come from armor. And what are you going to armor build for? The Urgot that's going to shred you, I guess Viego, but he'll build Kraken Slayer. Speaking of Viego, looking for a pick there. But yeah, the rest of it's just AP damage. So I would imagine he's going to go AP. They're just going to try to burst. You kill the Aurelion or Juice Pack at the beginning of a fight, and it's just basically one. And trades continue in the mid lane. This Aurelion is stacking. So we'll have to do some every 10 minutes or so, we'll probably have to do a stack check on both of these carries between Veigar and the Aurelion. Be interesting to see who can get ahead in that game. I know it's easier for Aurelion because he can just hit. I guess they both can just hit abilities. So yeah, we'll have to see who gets it overall. And the hook does land onto Raven. The stun coming through the cage does land from the Veigar, but it's not going to hit anything. Dragon getting kind of rooted up, getting ignited. They're really going for this one. They really want Durag to die, but Raven's going to take a tower shot, and they're going to all back off. And I think they come out. Actually, I think Synt comes out ahead of that because they get the stacks for domination. Is Juice Pack?
Yep, probably.
Looking top side. Everyone that's looking for action. Like we said, junglers trying to be proactive, trying to make plays, looking for opportunities here. Chai is going to come down.
Malphite needs to be careful here.
Yeah, does need to be extra careful. Is going to get stunned up. Urgot going with the dash, but the flash lets him get out of there. And that might be an opportunity to come back for a return gank later on for the side of Sinner.
So nice trades from OTF there, but when you're a Malphite and you're walking forward toward that pixel brush after you've shoved a lane and then the Urgot immediately turns and starts walking straight towards you, that's your cue that something's going on that you don't know about, especially when you don't have any vision up there. That's your cue to say, maybe not. Maybe I should just turn back and not bother walking up to try to ward this thing. And does have to pay up the flash for that kind of, I guess you could say, greed of stepping forward to try to get that ward down anyways. So, but at the end of the day, you don't give over really any gold, just a little bit of comfort in that top side.
Yeah, we see both supports have left the bot lane. They're just going to start roaming around with their AD carries. Good. I'm trying to think of the exact wording I wanted to say. Playmaking. That's what I'm looking for. Playing. Speaking of playmaking, Durag manages to make a play right there onto illicit Raven, but gets stunned up really hard. OTF coming through. Durag trying to run away, but is going to go down. First blood going to go over to Lil Juice Pack, who's going to heal off it as the Blitzcrank. They're trying to knock up Nightmare, trying to run away. Cannot get out. It doesn't have the ult. Vino going to pick up Nightmare there. OTF going to take out Lil Juice Pack on the side. Meanwhile, Chai getting kind of thrown around. OTF gonna try to stop him, but Shy It's just running and running. Raven trying to stop OTF.
Blitzcrank's
Dragon
coming
Ball.
back.
He is coming back, getting stunned. OTF is stunned up, though, getting flipped over by Vino. He's trying to pick up the Aurelion, but he's going to go down. Vino going to pick up the kill. 3 for 1, and the game just blows wide open.
Yeah, the game just really blew wide open there. That was Dragon Ball. Oh, the hook, though, is going to land.
Yeah, Vino has no mana. I don't think he's going to be able to get out of here. Going to get knocked up. Viego is here, though, to help stun, to stop Nightmare. He is a very powerful Viego. You got to be careful here, but Nightmare is a very scary Jin Zhao, and Nightmare is going to pick up the kill there. Sacrifice yourself for your top laner. Nice thing to do. I mean, he has a 2-0 lead, so you do stop the bounty.
Yeah, it's a little bit of over-aggression on both sides, though. On the one hand, Dragon Ball just goes way too aggressive, flashing forward to land that hook onto a Leona of all people, and the fight just breaks out from there, just playing way too forward. And then on the flip side, Vino gets caught out a little bit with that hook, and Little Juice Pack just dives in way too aggressively again. What you could have done there, realistically, is you jump back in, get this done, and then just walk back to your tower. You would have made it just fine, especially as Urgot's Q would have came back up to land the slow. It would have been just fine, and because of that, you've given up your life. You now have 2 deaths on the board. You trade away any sort of prio you had towards those neutral objectives, which means 3 Void Grubs do go over to Nightmare, and that big 3-1 lead that you could have had and just walked away with is now neutralized up quite a bit because of that objective and kill handed back over to this Xin Zhao.
Yeah, on the bright side, though, by keeping the bounty from going over, they at least stop a little bit more gold going back into the pockets of the side of Sint. And now this Urgot 2-0, walking back to the top side. We're already seeing Malphite building armor, so getting tanky. And again, like we said, not going to be as efficient considering there's only 2 people on the team that do AD, and they have ways to get around that armor. But the dragon right now seems to be the priority. Everyone's kind of jockeying for position. Darrison has the lead on getting into here. He's just going to fly back to lane, though. TF now going to take his turn to walk down towards the dragon pit as both sides are trying to clear these waves. They really want vision. They don't want to let either side start stacking dragons, especially Sinner. You do not want Sint to start stacking dragons, and especially starting, even if it's just one mountain dragon, it's not usually super efficient. On a Malphite, it's extra efficient later on because he gets to those scalings much quicker. And now Nightmare has been spotted on the bot side. TF just trying to shove this wave. He really wants to start being able to roam down here, or at least get to back. It doesn't have teleport, but is going to roam down into the river, looking for something here. But Little Juice Pack is on the way, has been spotted on the ward, though. The ult coming through onto OTF. Oh, the ult misses from OTF, though, and now he's got to run. Little Juice Pack is just running and gunning, trying to chase him down. Goes over the wall, trying to get the damage. He does manage to finish it off, though, and get out with his life. Alyssa Raven forced a flash to save their own life as Sint, the wild back and forth. Will they, won't they? Well, he does indeed take the kill, and Sint's going to try for this dragon now. Might have it pretty free. I don't know if Viego's going to be able to roam down with OTF still in the mid lane, though. OTF does not have much to work with. Yeah, they're just going to let him have it.
What a nice play there from OTF. 27 sees the 1v2 situation against this Viego and the giant star dragon. It says, I like those odds. Uses the spell on what is it? I think it's the spell Unbound. It's something Unbound.
What is it called? I have it on the tip of my tongue, and I can't remember it now. Chai going in with the unstoppable force and just clears the wave.
Whatever it is, the Unbound something, the something Unbound, and then just jasses right over the wall onto the Aurelion Soul, who had already burned the flash, to dodge the ultimate, which I think is called Fate Unsealed, if I remember correctly.
I would say you are correct.
Anyways, Yone goes over, takes the kill, walks out with his life, and on top of that, Illicit Raven there on the Leona had been diving forward rather aggressively to try to posture to help kill that Yone, and ends up burning the Leona's flash as well. So you get the Yone all by himself, but only burning an ultimate, by the way, burns the Aurelion Soul Flash, takes a kill away from Aurelion Sol, burns the Leona Flash, and secures a dragon for his team, all while not giving up anything besides the R button press, which is really nice trade of things that OTF got right there. That gives them a really nice, comfortable, push into the mid game for this Yone, who's going to be able to pick up a bit more gold, a bit more items, and really start to push, as you can see right here, really pushing the envelope against this Aurelion Sol. Has about a 20 CS lead and is really forcing the A-Sol to bounce back into waves and sit way more safely under tower, because Yone is getting closer and closer to that point where he can just straight up one-shot you in the lane.
Yeah, he's becoming quite a menace. And the fight's breaking out already. Gets a big ult of Fate Sealed coming through, taking down Darrison. He's probably going to die in just a moment. Darrison does manage to trade Nightmare, though. A little juice pack going forward. Raven trying to get the stun, does manage to get it. OTF trying to dash out there. The ult, though, from the Viego is enough, and Raven's going to pick up the kill. But juice pack going forward with the unsealed Fate. Oh, I'm mixing them up. They're both bound and sealed, and it's a lot of confusion. I see where your confusion came from with the naming, though. The E is Soul Unbound, and the
Soul
is
Unbound.
Fate Sealed.
Yeah, there we go. Soul Unbound and Fate Sealed. Okay. We've got it from here on out.
Yeah, it's got to remember Sealed and Unbound. As Juice Pack takes up one grub, gonna have to run back though. Nightmare trying to claim at least a fourth so they can start.
Malphite has ult here. There's a big Malphite angle here, by the way.
There is. Darrison is here too, though. Illicit Raven is low. Dragon Ball getting a little low too. Does manage to hook Raven, and Raven is gonna fall eventually, maybe? Yes, no, and yes, it is gonna be the case. Nightmare gonna pick up that kill there, but down goes the Blitzcrank, down goes the Malphite. Juice picking up some big kills here as Darrison takes down Nightmare. They managed to secure at least one grub for themselves, but Sinner's gonna grab the other two, so no mini grubs this game. And good fight from Sinner by all means. Like, I thought that was not gonna go well once Raven got cooked.
And that fight all came down to Chai right there on the Malphite. That I forget who it was. I think it was the Seraphine there. No, it wasn't the Seraphine. Maybe it was the Leona. Pretty sure it was, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, the Leona, who was just walking away and was living on just a sliver of health. And Malphite elects to hold the ultimate and try to chase down that kill. As
no.
OTF might be in trouble here.
OTF is in so much trouble. Getting stunned up. Darrison gonna pick up the kill right there. This Aurelion 3, 2, and 6 might be down 14 CS, but is up a big way in the kills. Got a full item and is stacking that tier pretty well.
Yeah, in that last fight, Malphite just held the ultimate for so long that by the time that you used ultimate, that Aurelion Sol had just been spitting fire, that celestial cosmic rays of whatever out of his mouth for so long that the Malphite was basically dead at that point. And by the time you used the ultimate, it didn't mean anything because you were already just dropped to the Aurelion Sol. The fight was already over. And because you chased so long for that Leona, and then in the mid, it just ruins the entire fight. Unfortunately, that like the Leona was able to walk away and survive for that long, and force Sin to kind of tunnel vision onto trying to kill that Leona.
Yeah, really trying to. Raven managing to do what the best thing a tank support can do is, and just buy space and time. Raven looking there for Dragon Ball. Does spot Nightmare as he walks out of the bush. We haven't talked much about these. They're normally AD carries, the AP carries in this bottom lane right now. Mm-hmm. They really haven't had too much to do, but now there is an opportunity here as Kiora does manage to land it right there's Juice Pack gonna hit Dragon Ball Durang, and double ult hit from the Seraphine. Domination, though, gonna pick up Juice Pack there on the side. A huge ultimate from the Aurelion as they pick up one kill. OTF going forward with the E, gonna run away. Domination forced to flash. The fight splitting in two. OTF does get flipped, though, and Kiora's going to pick up the kill. The Bessie, but they do manage to pick up 4-4-1.
Another good fight there from Sinner. They find the angle diving onto the Blitzcrank, get the kill there right away. Sure, the Domination 2340 on the Veigar does pick one up back, but it's just too late. Aurelion Sol has that empowered ultimate, the Skies Descend, I think it's called.
Yes, it is.
And so we've got Unsealed, Unbound, and Descend. Okay. There's a lot of things kind of breaking up and falling down in this game.
Right now, it's mostly Sint. They're definitely breaking a little bit. Bounties coming online for them, finding themselves 5,000 gold down 15 minutes into the game. That's a pretty rough hole to find yourself in. And the gold, it's where you want it on Sinner. You've got it on the Aurelion. You've got it on the Urgot. Urgot up 1,500, another 1,300 for the Aurelion. And it's all over the place except for the bot lane roll. It's basically looking like pretty big leads here for the side of Sinner. They really need this Veigar to come online soon so it can actually be useful in the fight, can take out Darrison or a little juice pack, or be there to be effective earlier. Like you said, coming in too late there to really do much. Needs to be more needs to be quicker on the pull, on the trigger to get there, as the Herald does fall for Sinner, and they proceed to continue setting up for some big plays. Bot lane turret, though, will fall for the side of Sint eventually. Maybe not, actually. The ult from the Aurelion does manage to hit stun both and stop them. The push coming through, the hook barely misses. Dominator taking a lot of damage right there as OTF ults big in the mid lane onto Kiora. Kiora trying to run away, is not going to get out, though. Nightmare's going to pick that up. Took 2 ults to do so, but meanwhile on the top side, the charging Rift Herald is not going to secure the turret. Vino is going to tank that a little bit. Little messy, little scrappy all over the place, but now Darrison is the one being hunted down by this jungle mid pair. A little juice pack, though, does manage to catch OTF on the back. The juice pack coming to right, being forced to flash and ult away as Nightmare flashes forward to try to take him down. And now the scrappiness continues. Despite the gold lead, it's actually declined a little bit, down to about 2,500 now, as Sit tries to claw their way back into the game.
Yeah, it's been a very scrappy past couple minutes. Kind of flashes blown everywhere. People extending forward a little bit too far. Weird kind of plays back and forth. And just a lot of that scrappiness is really good for Sint here because, Malphite has the angle to look for ultimates. Yone has the opportunity to try to neutralize that mid. Like, you were so far ahead on the Yone, and now this Aurelion Soul has 5 kills, has a 500 gold bounty, and getting some gold back, or at least some pressure back onto OTF 27, so that you can start to spend and use that gold, because now you have the Blade of the Ruined King finished, so you do a fair amount of damage, but your lead that you had over the Aurelion Soul has just been decimated through a couple bad team fights, and now the scrappiness going even kind of back and forth when you're behind and you're picking up a few shutdown bounties is really good for Sint here in this game. I keep saying Syntinels, I'm sorry.
Well, with the vision that they've been having and their proactiveness these last couple of minutes, they might be actual Sentinels watching and guarding and waiting. Let's get a stat check if we can, production, on Darrison and then on to Domination. I want to see where they're at in their stacks. 203 for Darrison, so looking pretty good right there. Meanwhile, for Domination, where is he at on that Veigar? You get 120. Okay. So not the greatest.
That's 2 BF swords right there already.
Yeah. 2 big, chunky BF swords. Needlessly
Not BF swords, needlessly large rods. What am I saying?
You've been playing too. Yeah, I know you don't play it, but that's something I was thinking too. I was like, oh yeah, he's got that. He's got to build the tier. He's going to build the Spear of Sojin. I'm like, wait, this isn't TFT. You don't need that item. I've been playing way too much of that new set. Really good. Really fun set. But definitely gets your head mixed up with items. I've definitely done that before, trying to build the item in the game. Like, oh, I just need a tier. And I'm like, wait, why did I buy a tier? This item doesn't use tier in this game. Alrighty.
That's too funny.
It's 19 minutes in. Gold lead. Still about 2,500. Third dragon of the game. Cloud will be up soon. Cloud Soul is the name of the game this time. Could be good for, I guess a couple of them. It's harder because both the casters don't really use Cloud Soul. Like, you're not going to really need it as much on Aurelion. But some of the others, though, like Urgot, Viego, Jin Zhao, Yone, they could be really effective. So if Sit can get this, could be very useful for them.
True.
Juice pack. He's hovering right now. Raven also looking. They're looking for an opportunity to possibly find a pick here.
Aurelion has the Sky's Descend as well, so the Empowered Ultimate is available for this Cloud Soul Dragon fight that is going to break out at any second. We're just waiting for that one play to happen.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be Durag hooking somebody here. because he is Ooh, was close. Everyone is down here. This fight is going to be a 5v5 fight as Juice Pack gets through that little choke point where 3 people were hiding. Raven, though, almost ate it right there. As Vino gets engaged on by Nightmare, is on the run. Durag's gonna grab and pull him in. Gonna try to hit him. The Skies descends, hits 3 with an airborne. Massive play right there. Chai still hasn't ulted yet. They're waiting. The kills are going. A huge ultimate from the Seraphine, but the Malphite dies. Doesn't even get to use the ultimate there. OTF on the backline looking for Darrison. Now Lil Juice is taking down Nightmare. OTF on his own is gonna go down. A double kill for Lil Juice Pack there. And Sinner finds the fight. They weren't the ones that engaged it, but they sure as hell were the ones that won it.
That's another fight there where Chai just doesn't use that Malphite ultimate. I don't know. Maybe you're just... There comes a point when you're playing Malphite, you have to say, look, this ult here may not be that super optimal, like, 4-man knockup that you're kind of... That dream Malphite scenario, but sometimes you don't need that to win the fight. Hangs on to that unstoppable force for just too long. Lose the fight, lose the dragon, and now Sinner is heading over to this Baron on 21:15 timer. That's pretty quick. They are teleporting in, though, to try to contest it.
Yeah, Domination is here. So is Durag. Nightmare and Chai are on their way. So is the Yone. Everyone's just coming over. They really want to stop this. Vino is holding the line, though. The Baron is going to go over. Chai ults over the wall. It's not going to hit anybody, though. And now he is stuck. But can Sinner get out of this? They haven't got to spend that gold. They got out of that fight. OTF going forward, looking for it. They hit onto Raven, but it's not gonna matter. The ult coming from the Urgot gets a 4-man fear here, and they take out Nightmare on the side too. Blitzrank's gonna fall. OTF is the next 2. A double kill over to Darrison, and despite not even getting to spend the gold, despite being low on mana and health, Sinner wins their second fight in less than a minute and a half, and 9 kills for not a single death.
Sinner has played these 2 objectives in team fights just so well. I liked how patiently they played out that second team fight, just kiting back, waiting for the opportunity. They didn't rush anything, and then the Yone goes in, uses the spell, the Soul Unbound, and then dashes back to where the Soul was, and that's when they say, this is our opportunity to fight. Urgot gets that big ultimate, dives in under 4 to get that 4-man fear off, and at that point it's basically over. And Lil Juice Pack and Darrison come flying through the fight to clean it all up. And this Aurelion Soul pick and the Viego in the past 2 games has just been doing so much great work for Darrison and Lil Juice Pack here.
Yeah, we said at the beginning of the game, mid jungle priority and victory has been the key deciding factor of this series. A little bit of the top side too, but the mid and jungle, whoever succeeds, whoever gets the priority, whoever's making the plays is the one deciding these games. And in this case, it's Sinner, it's Lil Juice Pack, it's Darrison. These are the 2 that are making this victory possible, that are really pushing this 8,000 gold lead at 23 minutes for the side of Sinner. As Raven does get hooked, the cage coming out from the Veigar, the stun's gonna land, but Raven will not die, only gets half health, but that is gonna be down for the rest of this fight. The turret is just dropping so fast. As here on the side, it comes Vino looking for OTF, is just gonna dodge to the side, doesn't want to eat too much right there. OTF going forward, but it's gonna snap right back to reality. Oh, there goes the gravity as Darrison's clearing the wave with the Q. I like to call it space vomit. That's really what it is. Just dragon space vomit.
Yeah, you're probably right there. Malphite is malfighting in the bot line, trying to take down a tower. Urgot's on the roam over, but for the rest of Sinner, they're just going to go and take another tower. That's going to put them, once this tower goes down, that's going to put them 9,000 gold ahead. These past 2 games for Sinner have been very dominant as Dragon Ball's looking for a hook angle.
He is looking. He's going to hit Raven again, though. Gets stunned on up. The teleport coming in from the Malphite. A huge ultimate from the Seraphine. Darrison goes legendary there, picks up 1 kill. They're going to pick up another onto OTF. Chai comes in with the teleport, but is running away. Doesn't even want to ult to save his own life. This is gonna walk on out. Vino just casually walks down to the bottom lane. And even in a 4v4 with a 5th coming in, Sinner's just so far ahead, the engage doesn't work. And again, the Blitzcrank keeps hooking this, Leona. This is not the target. You pick.
Oh.
Root does land onto Domination, getting stunned up right there. Kiora going forward, looking for the kill. Can Little Juice Pack pick it up? Kiora is gonna live as well. Now they're hunting onto Chai. Chai still holding on to the ultimate. He's holding it for the next game at this rate. Dragon Ball forced to flash away. Nightmare just kind of standing around, not sure what to do, because what can he do? 4 members of Sinner are just marching into the mid, and now Vino here on the side, ready to assist if needed. Darrison going down to the bottom side, going to try to clear this turret out. Dragon will be up in 20 seconds. There is a lot of gold that Sinner needs to spend. They haven't got to spend any of it, but this is just looking like such a dire situation. 12,000 gold. That they're getting about 500 gold over Sint per minute right now.
Yeah, Sinner has had such a strong mid game here. And yes, the Aurelian Soul and the Viego have been very flashy and proactively just stomping through these fights, but kind of quietly. We haven't been paying too much attention to it. But Vino, 5-0-7 on this Urgot, has had a very nice another game on this big Chem Baron from Zon, and is just having a very nice showing here overall. 500 gold bounty on his back. Which is basically lore accurate Urgot, and is just having a really nice series here tonight on the Singed. Now 2 Urgot games. It's been very good for him.
Yeah, I also want to give a shout out to Kiora. We haven't said anything about them this game because they haven't really been super flashy, but they've been hitting huge ultimates in these team fights. It's actually really good. Those Seraphine ults are just chef's kiss, hitting the priority targets, hitting OTF, hitting Nightmare, hitting Domination, and allowing the rest of the team, allowing Little Juice Pack and Darrison to just quickly pick targets off, and Little Juice Pack to get those resets that Viego so desperately wants. And now they're heading up towards the Baron. 45 seconds until it is down. I heard a voice in my room, and I'm not sure what that was. I hope it's just Google. Vino on the top side attacking Chai right here back into the game. Chai uses the ult finally, ults out to escape the Urgot ult. That would have probably been a guaranteed death there. As
here comes Darrison.
Though is going to hit the Sky's Ascent. Is going to get shut down though, but it might be enough. Kiora with a huge ult does manage to take out Chai, and now Vino goes forward, dominating on to Dragon Ball Durag. They're continuing this push. Darrison may have gotten too aggressive, but that shutdown really isn't going to matter when you've got only 3 people to defend. They're backing up. I think they're like, hey, we don't have the Aurelian. We may have got a little too aggressive there. Let's calm down a bit, back up, spend this gold.
Yeah, can we do a quick check to see how much gold they're sitting on here? I just want to see how much they're sitting. Oh, it's not so much actually.
They have spent it. Okay, I thought they had.
That's true. They had spent it. Yeah.
Okay. I've been so busy watching the fights, it's hard to see when they go back.
It makes sense. So you want to go back. You've pushed in mid. You've pushed in top there. You've pushed in bot side. They're going to go and allow Sint to catch these waves a little bit, but that's going to give Sinner the time that they want to reset, spend a bit more gold, although I don't think Little Juice Pack or Darrison actually did spend anything. But at least to go back and reset, fix up your health bar a little bit, and now come in and allow Illicit Raven to refresh the warding and start looking towards taking this Baron for yourselves as they've started it off here. And I don't think Nightmare is going to be able to do much about this. They certainly don't have vision on it.
Yeah, well, they don't have Smite. I know he did Smite that red buff, so that is basically guaranteed gone. Unless Chai can just steal it with a Malphite ult, that'd be very impressive, but not going to be able to. Little Juice Box got to pick that up pretty cleanly. Durag was looking for a hook but couldn't find anything there. As Vino's going forward, he's just chasing Chai. He's a very scarier guy right now. Mm-hmm. They're marching forward. This might be the victory march for Sinner. This is Sint's last opportunity to really hold the line. Raven taking a lot of damage there. This Veigar, that's the only person on the team beating their lane opponent in gold right now. It's Domination. He's really gonna have to step up. He's really got to dig deep here in this game. He's only 2-1-0. Really hasn't been involved with almost anything this game, but needs to be the factor to get Sint back into this, to hold the line so the rest of the team can catch back up to their opposition. Sinner marches on the top side. Vino's been hooked, but does manage to dash out there. Barely feels it at all. This is some very powerful damage coming out of the Veigar. They do have to respect this on the side of Sinner, but they do break the inhibitor turret. They are breaking the top inhibitor. They are preparing to put an end to this game. They're just heading down to the bottom side, down towards the mid lane here. Just got to be careful for hooks. They're trying to clear it out, trying to use this Baron enhanced super minion wave to maybe make a play. No, they're just going to leave. They're going to reset, maybe take this bottom turret. No, they're just going to completely... No, they're going... no, they don't have minions. They can't really take that. But they're going to reset. Dragon will be up in a minute 30. That will be Soul, and that could be the very end of this game. Sint just base it, trying to get whatever scraps of gold they can for themselves.
Yeah, my guess is it for Sinner, they're just going to reset here, spend a little bit of gold, get, kind of top off on your items here real quick, push in bot side. Maybe if you have the time for it, because it's still a minute away from Dragon Soul, but maybe you push in these waves, get that outer tower, reset back, take the dragon, and then push in to try to take the inhib tower and see if you can't end the game. Now that middle inhibitor did respawn, so it's a little bit of a breathing space for Sint here as they're looking. They can't actually push this mid wave out now, and it won't be those empowered minions just constantly crashing against your mid tower as well. But Baron is still active. It's about 3/4 gone, but they still have it for a little while longer, so they can push in for this bottom tower.
Nightmare has been caught. The ult coming down. So is the Veigar cage. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. The Seraphine two. Vino goes godlike here. Now they're on to domination, looking for him. They change their target. Chai is now the focus here, taking a lot of damage. All that armor in the world isn't going to save him here. As little Juice Pack taking some turret shots. The cage will save Sint's top laners' lives as the outer turret does fall. The dragon up in 12 seconds. I don't even know if they want to go for it. They're just looking for an opportunity. Kiora does have a heal too, so has a big opportunity to save his whole team and get them back to full health. The inhibitor turret is going to fall. The inhibitor is going to fall. Mid lane inhibitor turret might fall too. They might get all 3 inhibitors right here as Durag was looking for a hook onto Vino, but it just goes wide. And now that inhibitor has fallen too. 3 inhibitors down. No Baron buff anymore, but they might not need it with this kind of gold lead. 14,000 gold up. And Sinner backing off right here. This could be the moment for Sint if Durag can hit a good hook, but they get away. They go for the dragon. They're going for the soul. And Sint, their base is in tatters. Their hopes and dreams of taking first seem to be slipping further and further away.
Yeah, it was a very nice showing there in game 1 for Sint, but like ever since then, Sinner has just been dominating the game for the most part from minute 0. They've just shown a lot more poise under the pressure. They've shown a lot more strategy and just having the idea of knowing where to be as Nightmare is going to get caught out.
He is going to get... Yep, Vino gets it, goes legendary, flashes forward, hit Durag. Oh, they get a double Seraphine ult. Double kill for Vino as well. Juicebox going forward, hooks on to domination. Going to pick up that kill, goes unstoppable. And I think that's going to be the end of it. They might not even need the minions. Juice Pack is so beefy right now. Vino is so beefy, though. They don't have a lot of AD, so maybe they do need the minions. Juice Pack taking a lot of damage right there. It's up to OTF and Chai. Chai, this is the moment to ult. You've got to make the play here. Does ult forward, but OTF goes down. Chai is going to follow too. That's a double kill for Darrison, and that's going to be the game. Ladies and gentlemen, Sinner is your first place regular season holder for Divinity League.
A very nice game there from Sinner. They're very, the super early game was kind of getting away from them because OTF had picked up those 2 kills. But from that point on, the Aurelion Soul and then little Juice Pack there on the Viego, and then the side lane Vini on the Urgot just slowly started to crawl that lead away from them and just inch by inch took it back, taking the dragons, winning all the team fights, and then quietly there in the bot lane, the Seraphine. Then as we started to notice it more and more, team fight after team fight had so many nice Seraphine ults there as the game progressed. So well played there to Seraphine.
Yeah, fantastic play from the Seraphine there. Honestly, I know the big carries of this series overall were the mid and the jungle, but I want to give a big shout out to Kiora. Was consistent in every game, even in the one they lost, was consistent, was a big threat, kept the team in the game. Here, just did what they needed to do. Hit the Seraphine ults, hit your priority targets, and just kept doing it. I don't know if that earned them MVP or not, but it sure earned them MVP in my heart. I don't know. Who would you give MVP of this series to?
MVP, I would give it to Vini. I think that Singed game was just fun to watch. And then the Urgot both times kind of being on that weak side a bit more and just being so consistently ahead. Every single game was just a pleasure to watch this Urgot. And then the fun Singed pick as well. I love it when teams and players will kind of bring out that niche pick that they enjoy playing. And it worked out well for them when they were down 1-0 or 0-1 in the series. Put their trust in the Singed. And it works out great for them. So I like what Vini brought to the table this best of 3 tonight.
Yeah, just got to make sure not building MR into AD anymore.
Yeah, maybe I take it away because you built Hollow Radiance, which is an MR item, into an AD jungle topside. Maybe is that reportable? Is that do I drop the MVP because of that?
Oh, I don't know. What do you think, chat? Should he drop the MVP for that? I think I'm going to give my MVP to Lil Juicebox, honestly. Like, I think Kiora came really close, but Lil Juicebox just on the Viego, even in game 1. No, actually, no, I guess the game 1 too. Maybe I do just give it to Kiora. Kiora was consistent through the entire series, but Juicebox had really high highs on that Viego. My goodness, that man. Like, when come playoffs, y'all should be banning Viego. You should never let the man have Viego because it's very clear he's master the champion.
Yes, 2 very solid Viego performances indeed. Love to see that out of him and excited to see how they progress as the season goes on and we get to playoffs and see just how powerful and just how strong Sinner can get as a team as they go into playoffs. That being said, everybody, thanks for watching. It was great to have you guys with us, even though we had to run pretty late because of spectator issues. Thank you for sticking with us. I'm so glad you could come and watch these games with us. They were a lot of fun. Thank you, Rap Terror, for casting with me. I'm Sharpie. That's Rap Terror. Thank you all for watching, and everybody, please have a good night.
Wonderful casting.